sir. Rise and shine. Googans go time on a Monday morning. That weekend went too fast. CT, my brother, good morning.
What's up, Buster?
Some of them just kind of seem to go a little faster. No, this one went a little faster for me. I just want.
It's a little different now.
Is it? The football was. I mean, we finally got a good game last night. What did your boy do? Huh? I sat through 5 of them, I'm sorry, 4 of them. Not a one of them was worth a flip. That just bad blowout, favorite crushing wins. Underdog said, nah, we're not going to try. It just football, wasn't it? Am I being is that too harsh? I mean, the first game, the Texans and the Chargers, I mean, the Texans begged the Chargers, just take this and go on, and they just didn't do it, refused to. They let Houston, stick around, and what looked like was going to be an easy Chargers win, didn't it? Wasn't it like 10-0 or 7? I mean, they're 7-0, they're up, like just cruising seemingly, and it's like Texans hit them, and then the ball got rolling, and Justin Herbert was absolutely horrible. Some of these quarterbacks this weekend, not good weekends, even in wins in some cases. I'm talking to you, Jalen Hurts. But that game was a blowout. By the end of the game, the Chargers couldn't get out of their own dadgum way. I guess, maybe game 1 from the drama scale would be second of the 5 that we've seen. Because then we just went, Ravens beat the snot out of the Steelers. Finally, the nation has caught on to that section of the Steelers fan base that is saying, I mean, can anyone take a look at Tomlin here? I mean, I see y'all beating Mike McCarthy to death. I see you running off Doug Peterson's of the world. I see all these. Is anybody even going to take a look at our guy here? 6 straight playoff losses now, I think it is. I think I also saw a stat. In fact, I'll pull it up later, where the Steelers now have it's like every game they've fallen behind, like 21-0, 28-0, 17-0. They haven't even been in games in their past few. It became a storyline, right? Tomlin said something to the effect, man, those are my bags to carry. I'm not going to ask those guys to when it comes to this playoff drought now, this playoff success drought. Yeah, sure, the Steelers are getting in, but they're not doing a doggone thing. I think for the first time you feel some heat on Mike Tomlin, who, by the way, would immediately be snatched up by one of the other teams for the coaching opening. Show of hands if you take Mike Tomlin right now. Right hand raised. Mike Tomlin with Ben Roethlisberger seemed like a pretty good coach. I mean, of course they're floundering around. Look at the quarterback play. Look at the weaponry. They don't have any. Their running back's a plotter. Their number 1 receiver is touched, man. He just can't count on Pickens. And look, he flashed the other night. He gave you good Pickens. He did. But you don't get it consistently. Russ falling off the table after a decent start. Justin Fields is what he is. There's a lot going on up there. But, those that are just ready for a change would tell you, all that aside, there are things going on with Tomlin, the play calling, the game plans, that at some point you start to find nonsensical when you're having no success in the playoffs. Like, here are the Bills, haven't gone to the Super Bowl. The pressure on McDermott has been very, very light. It's never been heavily applied. You know why? I think I saw is that it's either 5 or 6 now straight wild card wins for Buffalo. So they get into the playoffs, at least winning a game. Keeping the hope in some cases alive, the momentum going year to year. So, anywho, bottom line, back to the main theme here. Ravens blew the doors off the Steelers. That wasn't a game. Never got interesting. Okay. Let's go on to Sunday, I suppose. Oh, Bo Nix, I see you. Big 50-yard touchdown pass, first quarter. Broncos have been red hot down the stretch. You better watch out, Buffalo. Denver's come to play. 35-7. By halftime, the Broncos couldn't make a first down. And it sets up, what a big one next week, man. That's a good one there. Huh? Can we just do some special, never before agreed upon deal? Winner gets MVP. I don't care if the loser throws for 1,000 and the winner doesn't complete a pass. MVP goes broader than the stats if you look at these two dudes. Winner gets MVP. Slightly unfair because Josh Allen, gets a freebie here because Lamar and the Ravens, I'll remind everyone, peppered the Bills pretty good earlier this year in primetime. Peppered them pretty good. I see Derrick Henry woke up from his slumber, huh? Must be playoff football time. Back to the Ravens and then to the Bills, who just so again, I'm looking for something to get me excited here. All right, Green Bay, you're banged up. Can you play with Philly? Answer no. Love, young quarterback. Oof, bad yesterday. In fairness, the Packers are playing practice squad by the end of that game. Every time I looked up, somebody's getting carted off the field. Already without Christian Watson, they lost Jaden Reed, their best receiver. They had it. Was it Dobbs maybe exited? I mean, golly, they were down enough. They were not coming back. And despite Jalen Hurts playing no bueno as a passer, Eagles win, and as the theme went all weekend, easily. Another blowout. So, here you are invested to the NFL playoffs, 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. You really haven't had a competitive game yet. Washington and Tampa gave us that last night. Don't understand why coaches won't kick field goals, but whatever. Didn't end up costing the Commanders in this case. They get a doink one off the right upright. The big play in that game was that kid for Washington hit that long field goal. Was it right before the end of the half? I don't know, somewhere either right before the end of the half or coming out of the second. I think it was right before the end of the half. But hit like a 50-something yarder. He hadn't even attempted a 50-yarder all year. So that was a big one to get that one through. But late in the game, last second, doinked one from 37, but hit deep enough off of that upright that it went through. And Washington beats Tampa. That really the only upset, right? It would have been 1, 2, 3, 4 in both conferences. Had that field goal not gone through, but it kind of throws the bracket now, makes it a little more interesting in the East. If you're Minnesota, you just got a little extra pep in your step, I think. Knowing that if you can beat the Rams tonight, you don't have to go right back to Detroit, which was a slaughterhouse for you in the season finale. The winner of Rams Vikings tonight, the final game on the playoff schedule, that winner now goes to Philly. And the Lions and the Chiefs couldn't have gone any better for them, could it? Huh? If you were the Chiefs and they ask you, you would prefer the Texans to the Chargers, don't you think, E?
For sure.
Yeah, it's a division rival. There's a lot there. I think you would prefer the Texans over the Chargers, and the Chiefs get their wish. Texans beat the Chargers on Saturday. I feel like I'm the only person in the world that didn't surprise. I too thought the Chargers would be a tougher out for the Chiefs, but I really thought, I thought when that game kicked off, I thought the Texans were going to win. Texans have a lot of talent. That offensive line's got to play. If they play, they're sneaky, aren't they? Between those two edge rushers and Stingley, they got a lot of elite talent. Nico Collins is a dog, man. And I thought Stroud played better the other day. First quarter of his pass attempts, he was just under incredible pressure. But he busted off a run at one point, and he started showing some of that, what we've seen him do against us, and that's kind of staying alive behind the line of scrimmage, making a play downfield. And all that being said, the Chiefs are not breaking a sweat here. They probably wouldn't have broken a sweat either way, but in just the nuances of the postseason, probably an easier out for the Chiefs getting the Texans coming to town. And on the other side, for sure, 100%, the Lions got a cakewalk handed. Comparatively, by all odds, it would have been the now 15-win Minnesota Vikings if they win their wild card game. And by the way, that seems like a coin flip toss-up to me tonight. Would not be surprised at all if Puka Nacua and Kyron Williams and the Rams got going and beat Minnesota, and it carried over from a week ago. But I think a bigger part of me thinks about tonight that Kevin O'Connell's a really good coach, and this team has had a chip on his shoulder all year. And, yeah, you bet they laid an egg, but the way this team has been this year, they'll respond tonight and play good football. And I think that, for me, outweighs how dangerous the Rams could be. And I think Minnesota will win tonight. And by doing so, look, the Eagles are no picnic, but you don't get the Lions. You don't get the Lions right away. So one left, that's tonight. Tampa just loses. Baker Mayfield had a bad turnover in the late in the game, fourth quarter, turned it over to his own 12. Commanders, what a story, right? Rookie quarterback, first-year head coach, Dan Quinn. And here they are off to Detroit. Who knows, man? That quarterback's exciting. He is. Collinsworth couldn't keep himself from continuing to allude to it, but it's fair, Collinsworth. He reminds us all of young Lamar. The way he runs. He glides, man. He knows just when to hit the ground at the right time to not get leveled. He's got that same breakaway ability as a runner. So one more, and we'll have our Elite Eight. Meanwhile, when we left you, the college football hadn't completed. By the way, no news is no news on the Jags coaching search. I certainly haven't forgotten it. If anything had happened this morning that was out of schedule of what we talked about all at the end of last week, I'd let you know. The interviews that were scheduled took place. I'm going to get more into that on the other side. But just real quick on the college football playoff with the final now set, Ohio State did hold on and beat Texas. They got a big insurance touchdown. Texas was driving. It was a fourth down play. There was a sack, a turnover, a scoop, and a score. Went 70-something yards. Jack Sawyer's kind of he's the face of that defense. He made the big play. And Ohio State moves on where they will play Notre Dame. Now, I'm not looking at the college football play. This is last week. It was the Final Four. The four aren't even the four that they would have given us, and so we got to avoid that blowout that Oregon took. We got to avoid Georgia really not being good enough without their quarterback. It showed us that before we got to the four. So that was a check mark in favor of a playoff. It weeded out two teams that had played and we thought were dominant, but the way Oregon lost, obviously they weren't. Well, here's the second observation. The way it's played out. We get a national championship game tonight. Or not tonight. A week from tonight. We get a national championship game, Ohio State and Notre Dame. That just 1 year ago, neither team would have been in the four. Notre Dame's a 7th seed. Ohio State's an 8th seed. Go ahead and take away Boise State and Arizona State, who were ranked behind those teams yet because they won conferences, got seeds higher than them. That still only leaves 4 spots. It would have been Georgia, Texas, Oregon, and Penn State. By the way, all teams that these teams beat. Ohio State beat Oregon. They beat Texas. Notre Dame beat Georgia. They beat Penn State. So another check mark for the necessity of a bigger playoff, because the two teams that will play for the national title, who, by the way, both had really good years and strong arguments to be among the four. Now, maybe they would have reconfigured the playoff rankings if there were only 4. And maybe they would not have just put in the 2 SECs and 2 Big Tens. Or the Big Ten, maybe Ohio State's win at Penn State would have put them higher if they were only voting for 4. So there's a little bit of an asterisk to this, quote, observation. But if they voted with this, purity of conscience that they say how they're voting teams, Notre Dame at 7 and Ohio State at 8, even with Boise and Arizona State kicked aside, would not even have made the 14 playoff, much less proved to be the 2 best teams in the country. All right, Jags coaching search news when we return. You're listening to The Drill. It's the Monday Morning Quarterback. Divorce, menonly.com. It's a balmy 52 degrees out there. Back to shorts and T-shirts, gang. We return next.
The Drill from the studios at Republic Services. We'll handle it from here.
Joe, I'm afraid I'll have to take your badge and gun.
Joe Coward.
Captain, if we could just please...
I don't want to discuss it.
Weekdays 2 to 4.
Hand him over.
On 1010XL.
He believes there's probable cause to believe...
You're not a police officer anymore, Joe.
Happy New Year from everyone at Nimnik Buick GMC. Frank Frangie here. As we kick off 2025, there's no better time to find your next vehicle. Start the year strong with the best selection, unbeatable prices, and a team that's here to help you every step of the way. Because when it comes to putting you first, there's nobody but Nimnick. Remember, Nimnick Buick GMC has the largest inventory of GMC Sierras in Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia. Shop 24/7 at NimnickBuickGMC.com or visit the showroom on Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade.
Seminole Hard Rock Tampa is excited to bring you live craps, roulette, and sports betting. All under one roof, hotter than the Florida sun. Feel the luck of the dice, watch the roulette wheel spin, and scream for your touchdown as the big screen comes alive. Dine like a rock star, sip cocktails that shimmer, then dive into the heart of Las Vegas right here in Tampa Bay. Live craps, roulette, sports betting is here. Get in on the action now. Only at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Tampa, located off of I-4 near I-75. Gambling problem? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Divorce, menonly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to divorcemenonly.com. Divorcemenonly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
This is Tony Baselli, Pro Football Hall of Famer. I was known for protecting our quarterback. These days, I'm extending that protection to a different arena, your home. I have partnered with Heritage Roofing of North Florida, your premier local roofers with over 25 years of experience. Heritage is your go-to roofer for hurricane preparation, with same-day inspections and estimates. They also work with all insurance companies. Let Heritage Roofing of North Florida safeguard your home and family. Visit heritagenfl.com for your free estimate today.
State license CCC 1335410.
If you suffer from constant burning, tingling, or numbness in your hands or feet, it could be a serious condition called neuropathy. I'm Dr. Nathan Riddle, DC with Riddle Wellness in Ponte Vedra. Neuropathy is treatable, and we have seen great results by using state-of-the-art, non-invasive therapies to target damaged nerves, reduce symptoms, and improve nerve function. Call 904-395-5598 to schedule your free consultation today and learn how you can live pain-free. Call 904-395-5598.
The flagship station of the Jaguars, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Joe C. for CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. They can transform your backyard with fire pits, pergolas, screen enclosures, and outdoor kitchens. And CSS handles the entire project from start to finish. You dream it, they build it. CSSOutdoor.com.
Denny Thompson here. If you haven't heard, Dan and Jeff are going to be live from the brand new showroom at Tyson Sound and Security this Friday. You have to check out Tyson's showroom home theater with surround sound and comfy theater chairs. You can transform your living room into a cinematic experience. Did I mention Friday morning you can enter to win a $2,500 prize giveaway? Bring the theater experience home. Tyson Sound and Security, now at 3555 U.S. Highway 17 in Fleming Island.
Hicken here for Bout 9 Associates, where you'll find Jacksonville's most esteemed eye doctors at each of their locations. After being selected for one of the most competitive ophthalmology fellowships in the world, Dr. Frank Bowden is frequently called upon for his expert opinion. He is currently one of the few cornea and external disease specialists in the area and the founder of Bout 9. Visit Bout 9 Associates today and experience the difference. Bout 9 Associates, keeping the First Coast focused.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. Dandy subs and sandwiches. Look, we always want you to think about those great options as you're driving around Duval. But the beauty is, even as I'm dropping pounds, Dandy's got great options for me as well. Told you all about their protein packs, delicious salads that they have out there. They have fruit cups for on the go. You know what they have. Veggie snack trays. You can grab those on the go as well. Perfect, healthy snack. Dandy is the name to know when you're on the go. So stop into a Gate store anywhere around Duval and make yours a dandy, and do it today.
When you need a mechanic you can trust, call Sam, Harry, or Joe at AA Automotive on Richard Street. From oil changes to complex engine repairs, AA Automotive promises expert service and honest pricing from a local family biz. AA Automotive on Richard Street.
Start your new year off healthy and get screened at Ackerman Urology for common cancers of the prostate, bladder, and kidney. Early detection is key with 5 locations across Northeast Florida. Visit AckermanUrology.com.
Epic offers. Factory direct pricing on AC equipment from Epic Cool Heating and Air. Call 904-859-EPIC. Epic discounts for military, police, first responders, and 1010 listeners like you. Epic Cool Heating and Air.
1010XL is presented by Farrah and Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's hard playing quarterback in the National Football League. It gets harder the further along that you go. I mean, guys that it's, in some cases, hard to find a whole lot of fault with can lay a clunker. And look, there's a lot going on distraction-wise, I'm sure, perhaps in Justin Herbert's life, with his team leaving those raging fires of the LA area and playing a playoff game at Houston, where really, I think maybe just was it a little too comfortable. Everyone thought the Chargers were going to win that game. Who was favored in that game? Were the Chargers the favorite?
Yeah, I think it was Chargers -3.
3, was it? Yeah, so it's just Vegas is telling you they're a touchdown better. So, and in fairness, look, we all saw Houston against Baltimore late in the year. What was it, 31-2? Right? These impressions, they can be misleading, I guess, and in this case it was, because by the time the game ended, Houston looked like the way better team. Took them a while to get there. But Herbert, 14 of 32 and 4 interceptions on Saturday. You know how many interceptions Justin Herbert threw this year, E? 3.
Ooh.
My man had 4 in the game the other day. 3 all year. If the Packers are going to pull an upset over the Eagles, their young quarterback, Jordan Love, has to be the reason. For the second season in a row, he played much better football down the stretch. Now, he had a bit of an elbow injury, but he was all good to go and cleared for yesterday's game. Packers put themselves in a hole right away. They fumble the opening kick. What a loser move it is to fumble the opening kick, isn't it? It's like the ultimate loser move is to fumble the opening kick and give the other team the ball, right there, and just, if not in the red zone, just outside of it. Eagles scored right away, and they got a field goal again, but the Packers' defense was balling, and Hurts didn't play great as a passer. And so the Packers were in the game. I mean, they had time after time, opportunity after opportunity, and Jordan Love wasn't any good. He had 212 yards passing in a game with his team playing from behind. He was going to throw it around. Look, by the end of the game, his receiving core had dwindled. They've been injured. I get it. But they played plenty of the game at full enough strength. He missed plays. He threw it to the other team. 3 interceptions. No touchdowns, 3 picks. So here are 2 young quarterbacks, Justin Herbert and Jordan Love, that going into the season, you'd put in the top. Let's don't forget where Love ended last year. He was right top 10. We put him there, top 10, just as we did with Stroud, who didn't play top 10 this year. He wasn't top 10-ish the other day, but it's hard. Hard position, man. And that's why I'm left with this, see. I look at the danger to win the Super Bowl power rankings. Quarterbacks. Danger to win the Super Bowl.
All right, I like that.
I don't want to say ability or capability. These guys, these good quarterbacks, they're all capable. The Staffords who prove it when they get chances. But let's call it what it is. It's Patrick Mahomes. It's a big gap. Danger to win. The quarterback most dangerous to beat your team and take his team to the Super Bowl. It's Patrick Mahomes, and it's a big gap. The gap is from here to Kansas City, a huge gap. Then it's a guy who's not even in the playoffs. Then it's Joe Burrow. The most dangerous power ranking of guys that'll win the Super Bowl. You don't want to face their team if you're trying to win one. Then, guess what? There's another gap. Then it's Lamar and it's Josh Allen. But there is a gap between them and Burrow, and there's a mountain gap between them and Mahomes. And then, after those 4, you want to know what the list is, the power ranking? Let me look at the list here. I want to be clear. I'm getting the names exactly right. Let's stop trifling, man. There's 4 quarterbacks you can go win a Super Bowl right now, no matter who the team is, no matter who you're playing. And 2 of those 4 have proven so far they can't do it. We're not marveling enough at Mahomes. I know he's gotten his due. He's been a 5,000-yard passer. He's won MVPs. I don't mean to underplay it. Yeah. He's the alpha. And the rest of them just bebop around at the meetings of the football gods, I suppose. But you've got, again, just one man's opinion here. You got Mahomes with just a gap as big as the Grand Canyon between him and Burrow, who's not even in the playoffs. Then you have another gap. Another gap. All things being equal, put quarterbacks on the teams. You got another gap, and then you got Lamar and Josh Allen, who may very well be just as good as Joe Burrow, nowhere near Patrick Mahomes' winning class, but maybe close to Joe Burrow, but they can't make the Super Bowl, so who knows? And after those four, it blows like the wind. Maybe you think, Justin Purdy can do it, or maybe Brock Goff, or Jared Lawrence. They're all the same. Sure, some of them are better than the others, but at the end of the day, are they? We sure Justin Herbert is next in line? My man just threw 4 picks on the road. Completely tanked his team in any chance they had of winning. It's hard, man. And if you're struggling to get the right one, you just got to be patient and hope somebody else knocks Mahomes out and you'll have a chance that year. The only other guy and he didn't even win the Super Bowl, Joe Burrow. He didn't even win. And again, this is just my opinion. But if there's a guy on the other team, on a really good team, who I don't want to face, and I know how dangerous Mahomes and Allen are. It's Lamar and Josh Allen are, but the answer ain't those two and their nifty little runs and their powerhouse this and their touch pass that. Nope. Dude just took a pass this weekend and watched ball. And the young quarterback's faltering, and it'll happen again this week. One of these other hot shots is going to go about, 17 for 40. It's hard. Captain Obvious leaving the building. Listen, it's also hard being a young quarterback, developing and just finding yourself digesting a new leader, a new playbook, a new offensive coordinator, seemingly year after year after year. Not quite that bad as Trevor goes into year 5, but counting an interim coach and coordinator, this will be the 4th, not 3rd. It'll be the 4th if you count going from Irvin to Bevel, and that's a 3 or 4, 5 games where they just change everything again. So that's a lot of turnover as the Jags carry on this coaching search. Here is Trevor moving on to head coach, number 3.
Yeah, it's not ideal. Obviously, you want stability, you want some consistency. But look at where we're at, and in the year we had, like I said, it's kind of the way it goes when you don't have success and you don't win. So I'm hoping that whatever the next situation is, it's in place, and that coach is here for a long time. So I think we all hope that, and that's the best case moving forward, is to have the consistency, the stability, something to build off of, consistent improvement, and we all just want to win. It's been 4 years, and we've had some success, but not enough, and we want consistency, and I know that's what all you guys want. It's a lot more fun covering us when we're winning. I know that is probably true for y'all, and I know for the fans, it's a lot more fun to be a part of it when you're winning. So we all want the same thing. We all got to put the work in, though. It's not just going to happen overnight. We have to be willing to change and to adapt and to, as players, take that responsibility and go do it.
As bad as it feels right now, and as hard as it might be to believe, we're closer to being a playoff team than we are to being a team that should have the number 1 seed. And you know how I know that? I watched this weekend, and Texans, we played twice down to the wire. Twice. Could have, should have won either game. There was no big talent mismatch. Those weren't, crazy things happening to keep a little piddly team in a game with a powerhouse. Can I get agreement on that?
Oh, for sure.
All right. I saw the Steelers right now. The Steelers and the Jaguars ain't a whole big difference. I don't care what you say. So there's another team I watched. I watched the Bills beat us bad. We played the Packers this year. We had them right here on the home field. They don't seem like they're a whole lot better than the Jaguars, quite frankly. The Eagles, we got the ball within a score at their 20. And I watched the playoffs this weekend, and I saw teams a lot closer to the Jaguars than I did the Chiefs. Half the field, for that matter. As for the Jaguars coaching search, look, they're being very transparent. Jaguars.com, they are confirming interviews that they request that they have, interviews they have set, and interviews that they've completed. And the 4 that they had set going into the weekend, those 4 have been completed. Both coordinators from Detroit have interviewed for the Jaguars head coaching job. The details of exactly how they're doing it, we don't know yet. Is it Shad and Balky together? Is it together and apart? How exactly those things are playing out. We got breakfast with Baselli today, so his latest on the coaching search, his opinion as well. Also, Freddie, Monday morning running back, joins us. But both coordinators have interviewed with the team on Saturday. They also interviewed Patrick Graham, the defensive coordinator for the Raiders. And then a name that wasn't kind of in the initial list, but had gotten there by the weekend. On Friday night, they interviewed the Chiefs defensive coordinator, Steve Spagnuolo, who's done an unbelievable job as a coordinator in his career, but his one try as a head coach did not go well with the Rams. But all of these coaches have big-time highlights on their resume, and that would include, listen, if they hired a guy like Spagnuolo, it would be not well received. It would be a boring pick, be very vanilla, it'd be defensive side of the ball. It would not be a sexy hire at all. It would immediately be met with a bunch of, gee whiz, really? But, man, you talk about so many of those things that are important to building a winning team and culture, and Spagnuolo has been with some really good coaches and coordinated top defenses that are really important to those teams winning championships. Listen, the Chiefs this year's defense has been, and last year for that matter, has been as big a part as the offense. He also won championships with Tom Coughlin and the Giants. So just an example of a name out there that may not be sexy, but who knows how effective it might be. But, of course, who everyone wants, I don't know if it'll be a part of today's poll question or not, but it's Ben Johnson. It's the guy who's taken that Detroit offense and has just made it hum, a guy who is secure enough in of itself that he has a plan and a vision that he expects the franchise to be able to provide him if he's going to be their head coach. And I want that. I want that security. By the way, coaching news around the league, we're going to hit on the football fix, and part of it involves Ben Johnson, and if you really want him, you might want to move. We'll get to that and more when we return on the other side. It's the Monday Morning Quarterback, divorcemenonly.com. Thanks for being up and at 'em with us. A little bit warmer out there this morning. Won't freeze your tail off at least. And we'll come back with a football fix and more next, right here on the Powerhouse. 1010 XL.
The Drill on 1010 XL. From the studios of Republic Services, we'll handle it from here.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010 XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
College football playoff championship game is set for Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, January the 20th. Ohio State will meet Notre Dame. The Buckeyes open as 9.5-point favorites, total 45.5. Ohio State beat Texas 28-14 at the Cotton Bowl Classic as a 6-point favorite. State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona will host an NFC wildcard game. Rams and the Vikings. Game moved from SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles due to the wildfires in L.A. Vikings went from a 1.5 to a 2.5-point favorite on the change of venue. Lions plus 295 to win the Super Bowls. Playoffs get underway. $250 bonus and you open up a G-Bank Visa signature card. Visa.com/GBank. Mike Sennett, 1010 XL.
It's New Year's resolution time, so why not skip the guilt and do something you'll actually stick to, like fixing that leaky faucet, unclogging that drain, or getting your AC ready for the summer.
Duck Rooter is here to help you keep this resolution, investing in your home.
Start the year off right with Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. Call us today at 904-862-6769, because when you're stuck, call the Duck. Right now, get $50 off any service of $150 or more.
Packer here with a question. Was your goal to lose weight this year? If so, are you already down 31 pounds? Now that's a serious question because I dropped 31 pounds my first 3 weeks alone with Awaken 180 weight loss. Now I had more to lose than most, but Dempsey, Matt Hayes both dropped 18 in their first 3 weeks. That's how fast the weight can fall off when you choose the solution for weight loss. Where am I now? I'm down over 115 pounds. My goal was to lose 100, but my new goal is to be under 200 pounds for the first time since I was in college. The results are real and the results are fast with Awaken 180. Whether you're not seeing these types of results with your new weight loss program or if you've already given up, don't. Do what we all did and make the call to Awaken 180. 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking flim-flam tactics. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices, and I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from AirPods to fishing rods. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam!
Transmission troubles? I'm Robin Sidbury, owner of Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road. So come in and see how we can help solve your transmission troubles. We service all makes and models. Remember, get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
Hey, sports fans, it's Hayes Carlyon from MyBookie. It's win now or go home. The NFL playoffs are the ticket to the biggest game of the year, and all roads lead to New Orleans. The NCAA playoffs will set the stage, but this is your chance to get in on every high-stakes moment along the way. Your road to New Orleans starts now with MyBookie. MyBookie is the ultimate destination for bettors who want more. Whether you're backing the underdogs or riding with the favorites, every drive, every touchdown, every moment is an opportunity to win big. Kick off your 2025 right with risk-free Thursdays. Place a bet. If it doesn't hit, MyBookie has your back. Dive into the Bet Boost tab to supercharge your picks and build that bankroll before the big game. The action doesn't stop. MyBookie's online casino keeps the excitement going 24/7. If you haven't joined yet, now's the time. Use promo code 1010XL on your first deposit, and MyBookie will hook you up with an instant bonus because you deserve to start strong.
Spend lunchtime with the ladies.
A meal and sparkling conversation.
Helmets and heels.
Mia O'Brien, Lauren Brooks, and Taylor Dahl.
Just behave, okay?
Switched on by First Coast Lighting and Fans on 1010XL.
Mia here for Dreamfinders Homes. For a limited time to ring in the new year, Dreamfinders Homes is offering an amazing 4.99% fixed interest rate. Now is your chance to lock down the rate and get in the game. You heard me right, a 4.99 fixed interest rate on select move-in ready homes. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for sales event information and get in the game. Interest rate available on select move-in ready homes. Restrictions and limitations apply. Go to dreamfindershome.com for more details.
Start the new year with a fresh look for your home. It's the Renewal by Andersen New Year's sales event. For a limited time, save 20% off on our energy-efficient windows and patio doors designed to keep your home comfortable year-round and your energy bills down. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation. But hurry, the special New Year's offer won't last. License number CGC 1527613.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Instant Keys saves the day if you have lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call 722-1111.
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Your home is your sanctuary where memories are made. Jack's homeowners trust Superior Fence and Rail to make their home feel safe, secure, and complete. Imagine a classic wood fence for privacy, sturdy aluminum to protect your pets, or a modern vinyl design that boosts curb appeal. Every fence is built with precision and pride, standing strong in every season.
When you're on the fence, about the fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Glenn Coleman for a long time as a friend and a lawyer. Persistent and fair, Glenn and his firm have represented clients from North Florida and South Georgia for over 40 years in all kinds of personal injury cases. If I had such a case, call Glenn at Barnes & Cohen.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, slow your roll. It's time for Jeff's Gator Growl. Brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Listen, I think the Gator Growl is the growl, man. They're growling. They're real. Florida's real. Florida went on the road. Listen, they had a schedule that may not have been the most difficult in the entire college basketball. Certainly good enough that remaining undefeated, headed to Kentucky a week ago Saturday for a matchup with a top 10 team for the first time. Ended up coming up short that day. Lost by 6 to Kentucky. How did they rebound? And when I say rebound, bounce back from, they rebounded like a power team would, like a dominant team would. Number 1, undefeated Tennessee came to town that Tuesday. They beat the living daylights out of them. The worst the number 1 team has lost in 58 years. The Gator program overall making history with 30-point wins over number 1 teams. No football, basketball combo's ever done that in the AP poll era. But just an absolute blanking. How do you, listen, when you're looking at a young team, well, I guess they're not that young, but when you're looking at a team that's not used to being considered up there at that perch, how do you respond to the blowing out the number 1 team in the country when you got to go to Arkansas? It's a good team. John Calipari in Arkansas had struggled out the gates in the SEC. They were a ranked team just a couple of weeks ago, and a perfect spot for a letdown. And Golden and his Gators went on the road to Fayetteville. They fell behind like 11-2 right out of the gates. They were a big time down, and they responded like, we're all right here. We're grown men. Like a dominant team, they responded. Found themselves second straight game, played some suffocating defense. I think Arkansas shot like 20-30% from the field. And at the end of the day, Florida had an easy double-digit win. If you look now at this stuff matter. We got a big enough sample size. And look, as predicted, this SEC is going to give you just such a tough game week after week. I was watching Auburn, South Carolina this weekend. South Carolina's at the bottom of the league. Auburn is at the top. We're going to be number 1 in the country, most likely with Tennessee's loss. And South Carolina, without missing some free throws, would have upset them. They played with them the whole game. And that's the league this year. Every single game can get you. And that's why winning as they did at Arkansas. The way they did was impressive. And the latest net rankings, I think I saw Florida was either 4 or 5. So right now, contention for a top seed, but still a lot left in front of them. There's no reason to look at long-term SEC schedule this year because it doesn't matter if it's Mississippi State or if it's Auburn, if it's Alabama or if it's LSU. They're all capable of beating you. Some are certainly better than others, but they're all going to be capable this year. Florida does play Missouri next. Missouri at Missouri on Tuesday night, I believe. Tuesday nighter. And the Gators are rolling. And they're going to be ranked in the top 5, and they look like a top 5 basketball team. And that's this week's Gator Growl. All right, let's cue up a football fixies, find out what's happening around the National Football League. It's out with the old and in with the old, or at least when it comes to knowing the Patriot way. And all the Patriots nation, the former players, seem to be well on board with Mike Vrabel named the Patriots head coach. Look, I had somebody on the text line ask, well, why didn't the Jags interview Mike Vrabel? Because Vrabel was going to the Pats. He's going to the Patriots from the moment they fired Gerard Mayo. He had been identified, they had talked, they had agreed, and then you go through the formalities. And so, voila, that's one down. So that'd be one less suitor for Ben Johnson, right? I mean, that's who Jaguars fans want. Whether or not the Jaguars want him, that's what the interview process is for. And I would imagine if we're balancing what the fans see is probably an easy decision and an easy one, that Trent Baalke would put all his due influence on doing something different, because that's the way it's gone really since they used the number 1 pick on Trevor. Almost every other decision, who you want to keep, who you want to go, who do you hope for, who do you get, he's never matched up with us. Never. So we shall see if the head coach aligns with the fans' wishes. I say this because the Raiders, who I imagine Tom Brady's just a tad more compelling in the interview than Balky. If you're Ben Johnson and you're sitting down trying to figure out where you're going to go, and you got Trent Balky on one side of the Zoom, and on the other you got Tom Brady. I wonder who you're going to kick ball around with, feel like you're on the same page with, feel like, and what did the Raiders do, by the way? When they heard that when the Raiders, hear this, the cruddy Raiders who've been longer than us since a playoff win, but even the Raiders, when they heard that, oh man, this Ben Johnson wants his old GM, you know what they did? The GM that they kept when they fired Antonio Pierce, wait, never mind, Telesco, you go ahead and get your stuff too, man. They fired their GM. They're not going to leave some potential roadblock there. Even that bowl haircut, gosh knows what owner of theirs had that much sense, or Brady made him have that much. Yeah, you got a coach that you think can be a difference maker. You remove impediments. You can get a group of high school seniors, take the best high school seniors in the country who are draftniks, and let them run your draft 1 year, and I swear they'll do just as good. I believe that. Oh, man, they're driving off the road into the stadium today. Oh, the disrespect. I'm not talking about just 10 dudes that don't pay any attention. I mean 10 of them that are just into their eyeballs in it. Raking and coaching and grading and seeing and watching. It's not that. We're all following the same consensus. Your fantasy football draft, man. There's players, they slot. We all take them. Who gets the right ones? All right, so Ben Johnson apparently had a real good meeting with Tom Brady and the Raiders, and there's a lot of speculation now that they may be emerging as a surprising leader. I mean, we'll see. I think the transparency of the Jaguars process of letting us know who they're requesting, letting us know who they're interviewing, and ultimately letting us know they have interviewed them. I think it stops there. I don't think they then go with let us know how the interview went and what they thought of said candidates. All right, we've run through those playoff scores from the weekend. It went chalk up until last night when the Commanders beat the Bucs 23-20. A disappointing end for Tampa Bay. Made mistakes in the fourth quarter there that cost them. Field goal doinks in on the last play, and Washington moves on. That means the winner of tonight's Rams-Vikings game will now, instead of having to play Detroit, they'll go play Philadelphia, and the Commanders will take on the Lions, who will be coming off their bye. And then it was the seeds 1, 2, 3, and 4 advancing, and that leaves us with Chiefs-Texans, Ravens-Bills. Oof, what a game that is. All right, now some of what happened within some of these games. Man, I don't care who you are. I don't. Do you need to ask the question of a player why if he's reading a book on the sidelines in the game? Or you just assume that he's some kind of jerk? No, you really are. I don't need to ask why A.J. Brown, the diva receiver for the Eagles, is reading a book on the bench of the sidelines. I don't need to ask. Get your stuff, bro. Go on. You know what? Now I got to get. Am I really now to step up and listen to the reasoning behind the book and the motivation it may bring and the. Bro, your team is in a playoff game. You're reading a book, man. Come on, man. What's the difference in that and literally taking your iPad out and watching a TV show? What's the difference? What if the sidelines caught a player, watching, a movie? It's not, there's a place for everything. Why are you reading a book? Stop it. Anywho, oh man. Nice guy. If you gave a nice guy award in the NFL, I think we've learned more than anyone, or at least the humility award. It goes to Saquon Barkley. This guy, time after time after time, has a chance to bring attention to himself. He could have set the single game rushing record. He said, "Nah, let the young guys play." He could have set the all-time NFL rushing record in a season. Set out the last game. Let Dickerson keep his record. Yesterday afternoon into evening, Eagles are finishing off the Packers. He breaks through the line. He's gone. He could take it to the house for a 70-yarder. And instead, he runs, 20, 30 yards, takes a knee because the Packers are out of timeout, and that means the game is over. Look, you're up 12. You could have taken it to the house, bro. It's all good. They ain't coming back. But he's team first enough and smart enough to know that the time and the clock dictate first down, take a knee, game over. And so he did. Oh, the degenerates got a real kick swift below the belt, though, with that decision.
Oh, wow. Did they?
He stayed short of his projected yardage mark by one. So many people had him to score a touchdown as part of their parlays or part of their bet.
Vegas had it like that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. I would have at least, if it was me, I know Saquon, I'm going for at least 30 yards more.
Just go. Obviously, I've never, there's one thing not wanting the attention, there's another and just turning down success, man.
Right?
Baker Mayfield didn't play well. He's blaming himself for some dumb mistakes, and, perhaps he should. And that's Football Fix. Let's re-cue it, let it go. We got Baselli coming up here in 20 minutes or so. The Hicken Arrivals next. Freddie T and the Monday Morning Running Back, his perspectives. All queued up for you right here on the Monday Morning Quarterback. DivorceMenOnly.com.
The Drill on 1010XL. From the studios of Republic Services, we'll handle it from here.
I did not see this one coming.
Radio play-by-play is like stepping in a theater in your mind.
As good as it gets.
1010XL, Jacksonville's home for play-by-play. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Mia here. Why Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned? I'll tell you why. Over 600 vehicles in stock right now. That's 275 SUVs, over 200 cars, over 110 pickups on the ground in stock, one location. Arlington Pre-Owned even has 125 vehicles under $18,000. Plus, Arlington's 30-day exchange program is now double. That's 60 days to love it or exchange it. Plus, Arlington's Credit for Everyone program. Shop 10939 Atlantic Boulevard or arlingtontoyota.com.
When the heat's on high or the chill is too much, who you gonna call? Cool Cats Heating and Cooling is locally owned and operated with a perfect touch. You'll keep your home just right, day or night. AC to heating, don't take a beating. Call the coolest cats in town. With a 5-star Google rating, they're your neighbors, ready to help. So get your paw of approval from Cool Cats Heating and Cooling, the coolest cats in town. CoolCatsJacks.com.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Get this thing unwrapped here.
Praz, what in the world are you doing working on your Duval?
That's right, man. I really identify with Duval.
You live in St. John's County, knucklehead.
I mean the Duval sub, the Daily Dash Duval. Turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheeses. Lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, like me. I'm sure there's a Daily Dash sub that sums you up.
The boss.
Because, of course.
Oven roasted beef, monster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me.
That's just not true.
What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it!" and said, "A boss for a boss."
Well, no matter who you are, there is a Daily Dash sandwich or sub for you.
Go find yours. They may even make you a boss.
I'm sure they will, because it is Daily Dash.
Where more is better.
And you got that right.
Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, congratulating our Scholar Athlete of the Week, Anastasia Rogers, senior basketball player at Paxton High. Anastasia is also a member of the track and field team and was listed in the African American Recognition Program. Congratulations, Anastasia.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to website CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com. and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the chairman of Underwoods. With Christmas behind us and 2025 here, the last thing you want to hear is somebody trying to sell you something. That's why at Underwoods, we'd like to just stop and say thank you to all the people that came in our stores over the last year. Whether you bought from us or not, we want to thank you for coming by and giving us the chance to help. You know, in North Florida, there are a lot of people trying to sell you jewelry. But at Underwoods, we consider it an honor for somebody to come in and just give us that chance to help. And if we do a good job, we might get a chance to serve again. Having served North Florida since 1928, all of us here understand what a customer really gives us during that visit to Underwoods, their trust. And it's up to us to do everything we can to keep it. So on behalf of everybody on the Underwood team, thanks again for coming into our stores. And we wish each of you a Happy New Year.
This is Mark Nato. My son Justin injured his hand playing baseball for JU. Southeast orthopedic specialist performed surgery just a few days later, and within 5 weeks, he was cleared to play in the ASUN baseball tournament. Our family has trusted Southeast orthopedic specialists for years. For any orthopedic injury, let Southeast orthopedic specialists take care of you too.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast orthopedic specialists.
Bull riding. The perfect fusion of strength, skill, and pure willpower. Professional bull riders aren't just athletes. They're daredevils with cowboy souls. Come experience the true modern West, where 8 seconds of glory will create a lifetime of memories. It's the Michelob Ultra PBR Jacksonville at ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena, February 22nd and 23rd. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com and PBR.com. Hold on tight. The ride of your life is about to begin.
Coke Florida congratulates the Jacksonville Jaguars on a great 2024 season. As the local Coca-Cola bottler celebrating 10 years of business, Coke Florida is proud to be the Jags' official beverage partner. From the season kickoff to the final touchdown, Coke Florida's 5,000 associates and passionate fans have cheered on the Jags all season long. Coke Florida and the Jags tackle game day with great taste.
Hey, Hicken here for Prize Picks. Download the app today and use code JAX, J-A-X, to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's promo code JAX to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, man. Run your game.
Here's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, sponsored by Prize Picks. Following the big win over Tennessee, it would not have been unusual for the Gators to have a letdown, something head coach Todd Golden thought his team handled well.
We were a little fatigued, both emotionally and physically. I was a little worried about how we would be able to respond against a team that was awfully hungry and competitive.
Florida will next play tomorrow evening facing Missouri. College football playoff title game is set. Ohio State defeated the last remaining SEC team in Texas to earn the right to move forward to face Notre Dame for the championship game on January 20th. Our last remaining NFL home state team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, could prevent the young Washington Commanders from getting the close win over the Bucs. The Bucs are now officially eliminated. At your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, I'm Sam Nelson.
At 7:01, it's 48 degrees. Your time and your temp is brought to you by Beulah Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Beulah.
10XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Ladies and gents, please put your hands together as Dan Hicken enters the studio.
Was this rocking at the sneaker ball on Saturday night, E?
Oh, it was rocking. It was popping.
How'd it go, bro?
Grown folk business only. It was an amazing night. Amazing night. Appreciate everybody who came out.
Yeah.
To support the cause. We did what we had to do.
Good.
Let's just say the assignment was understood.
Nice. I would
Very
expect
nice.
nothing less. Well, job well done for him. Yet again. Why don't you run the Jags? You want to be the GM?
Tell them to come holler at me.
Dan's doing the lasso. He's kind of doing the lasso.
No, that's the lasso.
That's what I just named it that. Is that what it's called?
No, but that's a good
Right, isn't that a good one?
Yeah.
It's the lasso. Yeah, now he's leading the orchestra. Doing the conductor.
You can get lost in Whitney.
Yeah, boy.
Got a decent voice.
Good to be here on a moon day. Case of the moon days. Taking de casa la lunes.
Seemed to go faster than normal weekends. I don't know what it was.
Was it a fast week?
It seemed less for me.
Oh, it was a good weekend. Good
All that
weekend.
inactivity I suffered from.
Ball wasn't great again.
Yeah, it's terrible. So last night, really, I mean, it really wasn't a great game. The Chargers, but just out of both of them playing bad, it stayed competitive. But yeah, left me wanting, friend.
Yeah. Hopefully this weekend coming up, the divisional round gets a little
Maybe
bit
we'll get a
better.
good one tonight. Last night's game was good. That's
it was good.
solid, up in the air, and both teams are making mistakes. Both teams are making plays, and that's what you want from a playoff game. We didn't get that at all from the first four.
No. And there's little tidbits to take from every game.
Sure.
We'll visit throughout the morning here.
You bet.
Talk about each. We'll bang out a couple. We got 2 Dreamfinders Homes poll questions of the day, so we'll knock those out right away. Brought to you by our friends.
What's that? Big occasion.
I just felt like a Monday. A lot of sports going on the weekend. Brought to you by Dreamfinders Homes, official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Florida Gators, the PGA Tour. And first is this question. What team did you see this weekend that can win the Super Bowl? The Bills, the Ravens, the Eagles, or the Texans were the 4? Sorry, Washington. The Bills, the Ravens, the Eagles, and the Texans.
Well, it's hard to split hairs on that one. Two of those seem like the exact same team. I just don't know. I don't think the Bills are necessarily better than the Ravens, but I guess being at home, I would go Bills.
What's the line on the Bills-Ravens game?
I'm going to guess it's 2. Let me look. I'm going to say Bills 2.5.
I'm going to say 1 tops.
Okay.
Pick them, basically.
All right.
Ravens.
That would not surprise me.
Ravens are the leader at 56.7%. The Bills are second at 37.2%. The Eagles only 4.5%. And a couple of you dastardly so-and-sos voted for the Texans at 1.6.
Yeah. They've got the tallest mountain.
I've never seen a game flip on a weird play like, I guess we probably have if I thought about it.
When he fumbled the snap there and then they made the
couldn't do
play.
anything.
Yeah.
All of a sudden he fumbled it. They throw it down to midfield and they go on a 99-yard drive and win the game.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. But, so the...
here's what we got. Chiefs are 7.5-point favorites.
Okay.
Detroit is a 10-point favorite over Washington.
Okay.
Eagles TBD. Bills 1 point.
Yeah.
1 point favorite for Buffalo at home. 13-5.
Call me the capper.
I really think they should. I think they should make a special exemption for the first and only time in NFL history, and the winner of that game's the MVP.
Yeah,
even if the loser has better stats, winner's the MVP.
They were talking a little bit about it yesterday. I wouldn't have a problem. It's happened once before when Peyton and McNair shared co-MVPs.
But that's by chance. That's because the vote ended that way. They didn't just get together and decide.
They should.
I'm okay with it.
It's splitting hairs with those two guys.
Yeah.
They're both great.
The only thing is, I imagine if we went back in the annals, there's a lot of years where hairs have to be split. You got to make a decision.
Maybe. I just feel like this year, you can make an argument for either.
You could.
I mean,
watching Josh Allen every week, you're like, man, they just don't. Who do they have?
Speaking of the Ravens, I'm tiring of and I heard it a little bit, last night and this morning. All the critics on Lamar. He's proving all the critics.
How? What do you mean?
There aren't any critics anymore.
No, there aren't any.
He's proven them all wrong.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
over.
for sure. Yeah.
I was a critic way back when.
Yeah.
I said I don't think he can win a Super Bowl. He's gotten way better. He's a great player. He's
still going to have
best player in the league.
Still going to have to win one.
Yeah, but there's no. I mean, if he has a bad game, okay, but the guy's putting up unbelievable numbers, man.
I don't feel
it's like
is there there's pushback against that? I mean, I don't see any.
It just
he's won over.
me.
He has won over even those who thought he was just a running back playing quarterback. And as good as an athlete he wasn't going to win a Super Bowl because he wouldn't be able to pass in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, not everybody's always right. Newsflash.
Well, there's also this. Lamar could go win at Buffalo and then go play the Chiefs, and that Chiefs defense have a great game plan, and he may only go 19 for 34 for 138 yards. It doesn't mean he sucks now.
We have somewhat of an inept franchise at times. Shout out to the Tennessee Titans who just keep doing it over and over again. And I guess it's good because they're out of the division, but it's bad because they're still in the AFC. We, on this very program, more than a year ago, sat there and said, oh, boy, it looks like Derrick Henry's leaving Tennessee. You know where he would be really a good fit? Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, he has given – you throw Lamar and Derrick Henry together, that's a 1-2 punch that has given Baltimore its best chance to win a Super Bowl in years.
Well, playoff Henry showed up. He had kind of just been a little slow going down the stretch, and he
still at 1,800 yards or whatever.
Just mean the last 2 or 3 games.
So, anyway, there's that. And then these dunderheads got rid of Mike Vrabel and hired some, Callahan's auto parts from Tommy Boy.
Mm-hmm.
And they turn around, and Vrabel says, New England? You good young quarterback? Patriot way? Yeah, I'll go back there. And so shout out to Tennessee, who's let 2 really key components go and gotten worse.
Yeah,
That makes no sense.
And they don't have of course. Let's also not forget they forced Tannehill aside with no succession plan.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
They did. Think about it. Tannehill those years with Henry and Vrabel, but Tannehill was playing. Remember, he played somewhat elite football for a year or two.
Mm-hmm.
They were a number 1 seed.
And by the way, just for the record, New England, a sham of an interview process. Everybody knew it was going to be Vrabel.
I'm for it.
You can be for it, but they didn't follow the rules.
Well, they probably did by what the rules are. They had to at least interview.
What black guy can we get to interview? Byron Leftwich.
Yeah.
He hasn't interviewed for a job in 2 years. Let's get Byron.
Did they interview him?
He'll do it.
Did they interview Leftwich?
Yeah. Hey, we'd love to interview Aaron Glenn. Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah.
I'll interview with everybody else, but I'm not coming there.
I got you.
It was just a sham. I mean, why not just say, hey, we're firing this guy so we can hire Mike Vrabel? Sham. But anyway, so there's that. And then our second Dream Finders Homes poll question. Take advantage, by the way. Dream Finders Homes offering an amazing 4.99% fixed interest rate. Lock down that rate. Get in the game. 15 different locations in Jacksonville to serve you. Which offensive coordinator not named Ben Johnson? Because I've done enough poll questions to know that everybody wants Ben Johnson. Okay? If Ben Johnson doesn't come here and you still want a young offensive or an offensive coordinator, who do you want to be the Jags head coach? Liam Cohn, Kellen Moore, Todd Monk, and Joe Brady. Those are your 4 choices. Boy, I don't get the love fest on Liam Cohn at all. Like, Liam Cohn seems like the second most popular pick. Is it because I kind of feel like the last time we had a coaching search, I feel like Leftwich was the popular pick amongst the Jag fan base. A little bit ahead of Doug Peterson. There were some who said Peterson, but I felt like Leftwich was the guy. Is it because they're Tampa guys? What is the...
No, I think that's just a younger identify with Leftwich and their success fan base. Leftwich now, don't forget.
I would take Joe Brady in a heartbeat.
Yeah, but
now look,
Leftwich got the Brady push there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to be associated with Tom Brady and everything that he and that offense is doing under him.
Well, like I said, Joe Brady at least has done it in 2 different places.
I'm okay with Joe Brady. Whatever.
A lot depends on the other stuff, but and all stuff factors that we
you know
don't
what
know.
I would be for, Hick? I'd be for a sham and interview Ben and announce Ben Johnson in a day. I mean, you just argued for why take any time with these guys. Let's get interview.
Oh,
them
I'm all for it, but they got to if they're going to interview all 8 of these guys, obviously it's good. They'll start doing other ones this week.
And they're going to have to wait at least 2 or 3 days. It just stops the process.
I will continue to maintain that I don't think Ben Johnson's going to go to the Raiders, the Bears, the Jags, or stay in Detroit. I don't think he's going to stay in Detroit a second time. I don't think that would be smart.
So. At some point, you got to.
Yeah, I think he's got to jump.
You got to take a quarterback that's available. He's got a couple of intriguing quarterback options with Williams and Trevor.
And he's got Tom Brady in Vegas.
And it'd be hard to, if you roll the dice, unless you end up in Tennessee with one of those dudes or, Cleveland with their.
Vegas has no quarterback, but he's got Tom Brady.
He's got Brady, but. And
he's got obviously the opportunity to name his guy. I would continue to maintain.
Can you get Aaron Rodgers for a year, though? Can you see that happening? Can you see Ben Johnson going there, Aaron Rodgers coming for a year or two, drafting a guy, developing him?
Maybe.
I could.
It's pretty easy to say draft a guy, develop him when there's no one to draft and develop. But Ben Johnson, I will continue to say, I don't think will come here unless or if he does come here, there will be a shift in the front office. I will continue to say that. That's from everything that I hear and talk to. If Ben Johnson comes here, there would be a shift in the front office, but we shall see. So far, Trent Baalke obviously and Shad Khan leading the coaching interview process. So I don't know. I know from everything that I've read, and this I don't know for a fact, it was a good interview. So he's the clear-cut guy. And quite frankly, as Tony will tell us in a few minutes, he doesn't know. No one knows what a coordinator will do as a head coach. You never know. You never know. Two quarterbacks who wish the playoffs didn't happen, Justin Herbert and Jordan Love, they're going to fall into the what have you done category after a couple of stinkers by those two guys. And so we'll see what happens with those two going forward. And quite honestly, I feel like Jalen Hurts might be there as well, except he's on such a good team that, they're able to overcome it. So we got...
Yeah, Hurts is... I don't...
Oh, by the way, let me give you the results of these poll questions. I said the Ravens at 56.4% were leading the Bills. Liam Cohen, 42.2% over Joe Brady, 31.9%. I don't get that. Like I said, Todd Monk at 18.1%. Kellen Moore, 7.8%. 840 votes. Couple hours left again. Go to dreamfindershomes.com for all your information. Tell them Dreamfinders Danny sent you. You can vote on those two polls for a couple more hours on social media.
I think Joe Brady has earned his chance at the table.
He's a young guy, but yeah.
Been around, though. I mean, wasn't Brady with Burrow at LSU?
Yeah.
And then he went to Carolina and didn't work there. Wasn't he at Carolina as a coordinator or no?
Yes.
And wasn't he a coordinator with Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold? Wasn't that the year?
That I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think that you would look pretty good as a coordinator of Josh Allen in his prime.
Yeah.
But you answer this about all that. I think something very important that a lot of these guys keep mentioning. Fred mentioned it talking to us last week. Tony has mentioned it. Trevor mentioned it in his interview. Give me a leader of men.
Yeah.
Give me a guy my guys want to follow. When he screams and runs, they're full of energy, not, here comes corny coach. Or,
yeah, it's weird, though, because all I hear about is how good the culture was down there. That's why when people tell me, do you want a guy?
That's good if you're okay with losing.
Do you want a leader of men or do you want an offensive mind? I'll take the offensive mind because if I have a great offense, we're not going 4-13. But obviously I had a good culture and we went 4-13.
Yeah,
so.
I guess my point was this. There is no such thing in professional sports of a 4-win team having good culture.
I don't know.
You have wrong culture. You don't have good culture if you win 4 games. What does that mean? You go to church on Sunday?
No, it means that they're all on the same page. They worked hard. They tried hard. I mean, I like that culture. We had a bad culture. One time, one of the few times ever. This is so funny. This is only the Jags. We had a team with a one quarter short of a Super Bowl with a bad culture, and we had a team that went 4-13 with a good culture. So I'm over the culture personally, but if you can figure that out, let me know. All right, we got Big Bo coming up. Is he scheduled today?
As far as I know.
Locked and loaded?
He's ready. It's not, again, this is not an official press conference, but it's Breakfast with Baselli.
It's not an official
coming up next. That's
Tony,
correct.
Dan Hicken, 1010XL.
This is your Duval Minute, brought to you by Lift Power, your turnkey solution for all warehouse needs.
Yeah, 3 years, $39 million. 3 years, $43.5 million. 2 years, $8.5 million. Those were some of the millions that were doled out for our free agent class. It didn't go so well this year. Those are the names: Gabe Davis, Eric Armstead, Devin Duvernay, to name a few. Devin Duvernay, career low in punt returns, hauled in 11 catches. So why not just keep Jamal Agnew? Gabe Davis, absolutely nothing from him as well. 20 catches, 239 yards, a couple touchdowns. And then probably the king of it, Eric Armstead. Ooh, I won't even go there. You see why the Jaguars got to get better when they chase free agency. And that's your Duval Minute. Brought to you by our friends at Lift Power. Always on the lookout for winners in free agency. Experienced lift truck and dock and door technicians. Bennies include a 401k, a company vehicle, paid training, sign-on bonus. Just see why Lift Power has been voted one of the best places to work in the past several years in Jacksonville, FLA. It's rapidly growing. It's been around for more than 50 years. It's stable. It's family-owned and operated, and you can be part of the family. All you got to do is go to liftpower.com. That's liftpower.com.
Golf courses, beaches, and nonstop sports talk.
Amazing, isn't it?
No wonder so many people like to live here.
This is a wonderful thing.
1010XL, Jack Sports Radio.
Everybody, Mike Dempsey with a question here. Was your goal to lose weight this new year? If so, are you already down 18 pounds? That's a serious question because I dropped 18 pounds in my first 3 weeks alone with Awaken 180 weight loss. That's how fast the weight can fall off when you choose the solution for weight loss. Each week, you look at the scale and the number goes down and down. Every morning you wake up, you feel better and better. For me, I love that instant feedback of knowing that Awaken 180 was working for me on a daily basis, experiencing those results. And given how easy Awaken 180 was, there was no way I wouldn't reach my goal. And I did. 25 pounds total thanks to Awaken 180, and I've kept the weight off since. The only weight loss program I know that puts their money where their mouth is. They're so confident in your success, they offer free support for life. A one-time investment in yourself for a lifetime of benefits online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Hey, imagine having a doctor available to you any day, anytime. That's my doctor, Rick Townsend. I've been going to Doc T for 2 decades, but he's decided to take a leap into a new and exciting, more personal world of concierge medicine. I went with him. Why? You know, when you need an appointment and you're not feeling well, call Doc T, you get in right away. Sometimes with regular doctors, you can't get you in for a couple weeks. Medical emergency, Doc T's personal phone number right here. He'll get right back to you. 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. It's kind of almost like being a member of an exclusive golf club, but the cost will definitely surprise you. You got to check it out. As far as doctors, Townsend's the best. Navy trained, graduated from Wake Forest, been in the community forever. Yearly physicals, officer virtual visits, cancer screenings, referrals to specialists. You can do it all. And find out how you can take away your health worries at mypvconcierge.com. All the answers are there for you at mypvconcierge.com.
Kick off the new year with a new look for your home. It's the Renewal by Andersen New Year's sales event. For a limited time, save 20% on their energy-efficient windows and patio doors, designed to keep your home comfortable all year. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and 0% interest for 12 months. Offer expires January 31st. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
The Drill from the studios at Republic Services. We'll handle it from here.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's contestant, a professional stamp licker from Jacksonville, Florida, meet Martin Celery.
Oh, gosh. I can't wait to play, Bob.
Well, let's move things along. Tell him what he's won, Johnny.
Wait, but
That's right, Marty. At Bueller Air and Plumbing, we've stocked up on the remaining inventory of low-cost 2024 model air conditioners, so you win. We're passing the savings on to you.
Can I answer a question first?
We need to make room for the 25s, so we're offering great deals on AC replacements while supplies last.
Could I spin the wheel at least? I've been practicing for a year.
With last-minute deals like this, there's no question that you are cool.
What do I tell my kids?
There you go. Have a souvenir t-shirt.
Thanks.
Stay cooler with Bueller. Visit BuellerAir.com.
Hey, sports fans, it's Hayes Carline from MyBookie. It's win now or go home. The NFL playoffs are the ticket to the biggest game of the year, and all roads lead to New Orleans. The NCAA playoffs will set the stage, but this is your chance to get in on every high-stakes moment along the way. Your road to New Orleans starts now with MyBookie. MyBookie is the ultimate destination for bettors who want more. Whether you're backing the underdogs or riding with the favorites, every drive, every touchdown, every moment is an opportunity to win big. Kick off your 2025 right with risk-free Thursdays. Place a bet. If it doesn't hit, MyBookie has your back. Dive into the Bet Boost tab to supercharge your picks and build that bankroll before the big game. The action doesn't stop. MyBookie's online casino keeps the excitement going 24/7. If you haven't joined yet, now's the time. Use promo code 1010XL on your first deposit, and MyBookie will hook you up with an instant bonus because you deserve to start strong.
Hicken here with a message from Zero Res. Did you have people over for the holidays? Kids everywhere, dirt everywhere, all over the carpets, the rugs, the sofas, and chairs. Did the kitchen towel take a beating? Sounds like it's time to call my guys over at Zero Res. The Zero Res techs will get the house looking great again. Folks, if you need help cleaning up after the holiday, give Zero Res a call. Right now, 25% off carpet cleaning, 25% off upholstery cleaning. Zero Res, spell it forwards. Zero Res, spell it backwards. It's the right way to clean.
Homeowners, listen up. It's time to start fresh in 2025. Prosser here, and Loan Pronto is here to help take control of your finances in 2025 by lowering your house payments and consolidating that nagging debt. Did you know that 9 out of 10 borrowers get a better deal by calling Loan Pronto? Right now, Loan Pronto has some of the most competitive offers for refis, debt consolidation, and purchase loans, starting in the low 5s APR. If your current rate is over 6%, don't settle for paying too much. Even if you're in process with another lender, call Loan Pronto now. Lock in at a lower rate today and close in as little as 2 weeks, often with no appraisal. You can even skip your next 2 house payments. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Get your personalized Loan Pronto rate quote instantly with no hard credit pull and no upfront fees. Call now, 904-999-1508, or go to loanpronto.com. That's 904-999-1508. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLS consumeraccess.org.
I'm Max Fink, and I'll bring you the Gator Report several times weekly to keep you connected to Gainesville.
The Gator Report, put together by San Jose Collision on the home of the Florida Gators, 1010XL.
Go, Gator!
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line.
Hello.
We can wiggle it. It's Hall of Fame Monday with Tony Baselli. Brought to you by Heritage Roofing of North Florida. Hall of Fame Quality Roofing Solutions.
Where he's living these days.
PFHOF number 355. Don Anthony Baselli Jr.
True to his word, no press conference between this week and last week. Let's see.
You promised us some good ball, Tony. We didn't really get that this weekend.
Oof.
Well, I thought last night's game was awesome.
Yeah, you only had to wait 2.5 days to get you one.
That was a good game. That was enjoyable. Other than that,
I actually thought.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Green Bay Philly game was intriguing.
Yeah.
They couldn't score in the red zone.
Right.
And they were beat up. Boy, Green Bay was beat up.
Mm-hmm.
I was shocked at the Texans-Chargers game.
Yes.
That was shocking to me.
Wasn't it weird how that one play kind of changed the game, the bouncy ball?
Everything. Yeah, well, I mean, how often do we talk about it, since we've been doing this, that the NFL games come down to, 5 or 6 plays. And you never know when they're going to happen. And plays like that change momentum. Like, you get a break. I mean, I go all the way back to the 96 playoff run.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we were struggling.
Yep.
And William Dean Perry doesn't get off the field. We get a first down when we punted. And we scored every series after that until we took the kneel down.
Amazing.
And it just changed. Clyde Simmons getting a pick.
Yep.
In the Buffalo game. I mean, I can go throughout my career, just you think of, and sometimes they're at the very end. Sometimes it's in the 2 minutes, like the Commanders game last night. Jaden Daniels making plays late. But you just never know. And that's the beauty of football in the NFL. They're so close. Even games like that, you look at that Philly Packers game.
Mm-hmm.
Packers could have won that game. Now Philly controlled it most of the time, but a one play here or there flips the whole thing on its head.
It's a long off season for quarterbacks who don't play well in the playoffs, isn't it? And the fan base is Justin Herbert and Jordan Love kind of fall under the.
Well, and here's the thing. Go back 6 weeks, 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Right. Not even that. 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And Justin Herbert and Love were two of the best young quarterbacks in the league.
That's not what they remember.
Great. That's what my point is. Playing great football down the stretch. I remember seeing a stat of Jordan Love, how he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL the second half of the season. All that stuff. And boy, playoff football flips it on its head. And this is where the games are so much bigger in the playoffs in the NFL. They mean more, obviously, but you even look at how you define guys' careers. Mm-hmm. It changes everything. You look at a guy like Eli Manning, who's up for the Hall of Fame, and he's going to be a Hall of Famer. I don't know if he gets in this time or not.
Right.
But regular season, okay, good quarterback, not great.
Yeah.
But you get him in the playoffs, and he has epic playoff runs, 2 Super Bowls, beats the Patriots twice, and you remember him as an all-time great. And where, a guy like Philip Rivers, great quarterback, never does anything in the playoffs. It'll be, it's interesting how you remember guys are remembered. And I'm not saying Philip Rivers won't get in the Hall of Fame someday. I have no idea, but it speaks to the games this time of year are just so good. Even when they're not great games.
They're good, and they're magnified too, right?
Even think about that Texans-Chargers game. It was out of hand at the end.
Yeah.
But until the fourth quarter, it's like you're just waiting for the Chargers to make a play. And you feel like it could happen at any moment. It's just, I love it. I think playoff football in the NFL, there's nothing like it.
Where do you fall with, I kind of get both sides of the Tomlin argument. Where do you fall on that?
Well, at least now both sides are being contemplated because, in fairness, they weren't a month ago.
Yeah.
The other side has been screamed by portions of the Steelers fan base, but it has not even been recognized. And the one thing is fair. I mean, Tomlin's not getting the same treatment as other coaches who will be in the same boat.
Okay.
I think that's fair.
Well, but part of that's because it's the Steelers franchise. This is how the Steelers do business. They've had 2 coaches my lifetime. 3 coaches for my lifetime. If you think about it, I'm 52 years old, and they had
Chuck
Tomlin's, then Chuck Noll.
Yeah.
Then you have Cowher and Tomlin.
I wonder if any of those ever went 3 years without winning a playoff game, much less 7.
I think I heard no. I wonder if a change of scenery would do both sides good.
That's
I'm
it.
just
It's not that he's
question.
not a good coach. At some point.
Because he would get scooped up. I get that. But maybe it's just
I think so.
Yeah, maybe
I think Well, I think it's a couple things. I think the same voice for that long sometimes changes. It's nothing to do with him as a coach, good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, to your point, a change of scenery.
Yeah.
But they're also an older team, guys.
They need a quarterback, too. It all comes down to that with all these NFL
Thank you,
teams.
Jeff.
For sure.
I said it yesterday to our good friend Alex.
Okay.
He's
at one time your only friend, but you've blossomed since then.
That's true. Well, you were my friend.
Yeah, that's correct.
And they don't have a quarterback. I'm sorry,
and they haven't had one.
I would have never gone away from Justin Fields. I still think he gives you a better chance to win over the long haul than Russell Wilson at this point in Russell's career. And they're okay up front. Like what do the Steelers do well?
Well, they didn't play defense well on Saturday, so I don't know.
Lamar Jackson, I don't know how you stop him when he's playing that well.
Yeah.
But I don't think the Steelers move on from Tomlin.
Mm-hmm.
There's talk of would someone trade for him. I would not trade. I would not give up a draft pick for Mike Tomlin right now. I think Mike Tomlin's a great coach, all-time great coach. I also think maybe a year off. If you wanted to, he'd be scooped up in TV in 20 seconds.
You hit it, though, at being the Steelers, because they really, Marvin Lewis fired for the exact same thing. Mike McCarthy and Green Bay fired for the exact, they're just, it's the recent
That's
histories.
the Steelers.
Yeah,
it's the Steelers organization. Right. And in fairness to Mike Tomlin, the dude has never had a losing record.
I hear you.
I know.
That only carries you so far, as you know.
I agree, Jeff. It's all about the playoffs. It's about getting in the tournament and winning games in the tournament.
Yeah,
that's what it's all about.
It'd be like if I told you, Tony, don't worry, USC's been to a bowl game 9 straight years.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Don't care. And Mike Tomlin is a great coach. But the standard for the Pittsburgh Steelers is different. And by the way, it should be different for everybody. But especially when you have the history that they do. With that, I don't see them moving on from Mike Tomlin. He's a great leader. He's a really good head coach. You could question some of the stuff around staff. There's questions about his game management at times. But if you look at the overall body of work, it's hard to say anything but really positive things about Mike Tomlin. But he hasn't won a playoff game for a long time, and that is starting to create some noise in Pittsburgh.
Tony, do you know guys who've gone through the interview process for head coaching jobs? Like, have you talked to them about the actual process?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
I'm just curious, so they do Zoom, right? So you pop them up on Zoom and then...
Well, it's right now that's what you can do with the guys who are
by the
coaching.
rules, yes. And there'll be another round if they're, or whatever. And
yeah, you try to do another round because you want to do it in person if possible.
Yeah, and I like the transparency. I'm just curious, is Is it Shad and Trent together? Do you get one-on-one time with both guys? I mean, is it an hour long? Is it 4 hours long? I mean, how much do you talk about? Like, what question would you ask me, Tony, if you were interviewing me for a head coaching job?
Well, a couple of things. One, I don't want to get into specifics, outside of what the Jaguars have, said publicly at this point.
Okay.
Of who's in there and who's not. The time frame of these interviews a lot of it depends on the candidate, the connection, what you're trying, is it the first, is the second, what are you focused on? I think it depends on the individual. To me, you have to do your background on each individual to make sure you have your standard questions across, the board you want to ask everybody. But then you get into more specifics. Like if you look at two guys who interviewed on Saturday, Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, there's going to be similar questions about leadership, philosophy, culture, what's your core values, what are your non-negotiables, stuff like that, which is really important, communication, leadership style, because you're trying to project a guy like Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson, these two guys, just naming two, that have never done the job you're actually hiring them to do. Because being an offensive coordinator or defense coordinator is widely different than being the head coach. At the same time, a guy like Ben Johnson, he's a great coordinator.
Right.
You know what he has done. So you don't spend a ton of time on like offensive philosophy, but you want to understand what's your plan for Trevor. But more importantly, because he has stated he wants to call plays as a head coach. Great. How do you manage your week? How do you build your game plan as an offensive coordinator, but still, fulfill your role and your obligations as a head coach, because it adds to your plate quite a bit, so it's about time management, leadership, what are you going to delegate? Who's your staff? So what's your defensive philosophy to match what you're going to do offensively? What are your top three defense coordinators you're going to go after? All these guys have had these conversations with coaches around the league, say, hey, will you come with me? But at the same time, you can't guarantee a guy's going to come, because they might be under contract. You might get blocked. I mean, there's a lot of things there.
Okay.
Where a guy like Aaron Glenn, you want to focus on, what is your – because he's a defensive guy, bona fide leader, great job. Same questions as Ben around culture, being a head coach, blah, blah, blah. But then you really want to dig into, hey, Aaron, you're a defensive guy. Tell me your plan for Trevor Lawrence. We've invested $55 billion a year in this guy.
Right.
What do you think? What's your plan? Who's your offensive coordinator? What kind of, philosophy you're going to have on the offense? What's your interaction as a defensive guy? How are you going to manage that relationship with your quarterback? So it's different because Aaron's never had to deal with the offensive side of the ball. He's been a D coordinator. But when you have a franchise quarterback, or even if you don't, that head coach better have a great relationship with your quarterback. So really your questions and how you dig into it and where you focus is going to be depending on the candidate.
Tony, have we underestimated the challenge of dueling Tom Brady when it comes to courting coaches or players or whatever it might be? And I don't mean we, like the Jaguars in particular, but if you looked at the head coaching openings right now and you honestly took a look at them, the Raiders might be the least appealing.
Sure.
As to what they have.
I think it's the second to worst job.
Okay, but yet I feel there's a part of me that feels like that's where Ben Johnson is going to end up.
He didn't get Vrabel, his buddy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
but he was always going New England. I think. I don't know if that was a Brady fail, and maybe I just the fact that there seems to be a narrative emerging from their talk that there's something there. And we didn't get that here.
But Jeff, where's that narrative coming from?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I don't know. I'm just curious. You tell me. You're the two Hall of Famers, you and Brady. Ooh, is he in yet?
Wow.
Brady? Has it been 5?
No, he's not.
No.
He is not in yet.
Tony's the Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
So there's only one Hall of Famer, Jeff. Let's not get confused.
Fair.
But I think it's safe to say that Tom Brady will get in. I think that's.
I think so.
You're throwing out there.
I think so.
Should be first ballot, I bet.
I think he might. That might be one of the shortest presentations ever.
Is the word unanimous?
Tom Brady.
Give me his reputation. Tony, you're that same. You've done the broadcasting thing. You're in those circles. What is the impression? Is he for real? I mean, he was so committed as a player, right? I mean.
Well, I think it'll be interesting to see what Tom Brady does after this season. How much involvement does he really want to have in the day-to-day? Because the more he has, then he might not be able to do Fox any longer.
He's kind of said that, hadn't he? He's hinted at that.
He hasn't, but most people expect him just to go do Raiders
He
stuff.
hasn't been great on Fox. He's solid, but it's not been like some must-watch
no
appointment.
revelation.
Yeah, right.
So I think Tom Brady is Tom Brady. I mean, greatest quarterback all time, most Super Bowl wins, and a great leader, smart, all those things. So he's going to be an allure for coaches, especially you think about young coaches who kind of grew up watching Tom Brady.
Yeah.
So you wonder how much influence does that have? However, I do think you got to remember each of these guys also have agents. I think these guys look at history, what has happened, how many chances are you going to get to be a head coach? And if you look at the Raiders organization, they are in the AFC West. They're by far the fourth best team in a tough division with good quarterbacks. You have Mahomes, you have Herbert with Harbaugh, you have Nix with Peyton.
Yeah.
Obviously Mahomes and Randy Reid. So you're fourth. You don't have a quarterback. Now, the new ownership group, I think you'll have more cash to spend on free agents, because the question always was, how much cash can Mark Davis invest in bonuses and guarantees with these free agents? So that should help. So I think it's going to – I don't think that is the job that if you're Ben Johnson and you can go anywhere you want, would you choose the Raiders just because it's Tom Brady? Because let me tell you about Tom Brady.
No, the vision, though. I think it's what Brady's selling of success, his version of success and how to get there. I think that's what they're selling.
Okay, but Jeff, here you and I both know this. In the NFL, after the courting and after you sign, you get married, you say I do's, and the honeymoon's over.
Yeah.
It's in the NFL, divorces happen pretty quick.
Sure.
People get sideways.
Well, that could happen here too. I mean, here you're
anywhere.
Yeah.
But where do you have the better chance? If you were taking a step back and an honest look, where do you have a better chance to win over the next 24 months? The Jaguars or the Raiders?
Hey, Tone,
it's not even close in my opinion. The Jaguars, this job is 10x better than the Raiders job.
Except for the Jaguars.
Don't
That's the
you
problem.
think, Tone, that – and Shad Khan has been a patient guy with his coaches. Don't you think that this coach is going to get a little more leeway because of all that is going to be going on with this franchise over the next 3 years, with the stadium being displaced?
If you ask me the one negative about this job that you have to consider is that it's going to be
different challenges.
There's going to be distractions that are non-football related.
Right.
You're going to have a stadium construction going on. You're going to play in a partially partial capacity stadium for a year. You're going to have to play somewhere else for a year.
Yeah.
All those are real things and concerns, and those are part of the questions you talk to these kids.
But might buy you more time as a head coach. Well, listen, I mean, you got me. I'm going to steer us through these bubbling waters and do just fine, and then then watch.
Hopefully, you don't have a coach that's his mentality.
Well, I know, but
I don't think a guy coming in is that mentality taking over this team, and I don't think that's Shad Khan's mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Shad has been patient. There's no doubt about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I go back and I get heat for this. I think Shad Khan is one of the better owners if you look at the overall picture. Now, obviously, the final judgment is wins and losses,
right?
And the organization has to do better. But if you look at the owner's job, investing, giving resources, commitment to city, all those things, Shad is an A+.
I think Hicken's
you want
point
to be critical. You want to be critical. The hiring and the results. Okay, great. And right now, that's all the fans care about.
Right.
And I think Shad is that. I think he's always been like this. This is a competitive guy. I mean, you don't do what he's done in the business world without having some real, competitive fire. I don't think the fans always see that. And so while I think Shad will always be patient because that's his personality, I do think there's an expectation like, hey, wait a second. I made a change because I felt we were better than the performance we got and the outcome we got, the results we got. Like, we expect to turn this around and let's get going. I don't care if we're playing where we're playing.
I think Hick's point carries weight from this standpoint, though. Sure, that's not going to be publicly thrown out there. Oh, you get a pass here if you don't get out the gates. And I don't think he's saying that, but we will think that way. Fans will. It will. If it doesn't go well, that will be one of the things that's considered.
I disagree. I don't think fans are.
Not by Shad, but okay. Well, maybe.
No, I think our fan base is I don't care anymore. I don't care where we play. We'll go play in the park. We need to have an organization, and you better have a leader that can do this over the next 2 or 3 years.
Gus used to say that too.
I don't care where we play. We'll play in the parking lot. Let's go. You have to have that mentality. You have to have some grit, some toughness.
Solid.
And I think that needs to be built into the organization because you're going to go through. It's not going to be perfect. It's never perfect. But I get really tired of the excuses. Oh, we played in London. Okay, great. Don't care. Oh, we got this road trip. Oh, it's going to be stadium construction. Great. You know what the good teams do? They win wherever they play.
Yeah.
Last
Maybe
thing,
one day we'll have one of those.
Last thing before we go, and you're big on identity. I know that we've talked about this a few times. Identity. What is the identity? We didn't have. I get that. Another word that pops up is culture, and I said this earlier, and I wonder if you concur or disagree. The Jacksonville Jaguars are one of the few teams I know who had a terrible culture and were a quarter away from a Super Bowl, and had a good culture allegedly this year, and we're 4-13. Give me a great guy who understands offense, and we won't go 4-13 because we always say, "Well, what kind of coach do you want?" You know what I'm saying? There have been what teams do you know have a bad culture and win and have a good culture and lose? I don't get it. I give up on the culture.
I would disagree in 17 we had a bad culture. I disagree with that. I think the culture got bad in 18 because of how it was
I think
managed.
those were a lot of bad dudes who were out for themselves. And yeah, go ahead.
Well, maybe, but it flourished in 18 where everyone was talking about getting paid, blah, blah, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
In 17,
and they had adversity. Listen, culture doesn't show up when you're winning. Everyone's happy.
That's
and,
right.
You're the king of the court. That ego is fed, and you're fine. It's when it gets questioned that it
doesn't
wrong.
get built. Let me just say this: it doesn't get built overnight, and you have to test the durability of whatever culture you're building. And obviously, the durability of that 2017 team, as far as the locker room, was not very strong. And we can play Monday morning quarterback and argue why, but it just wasn't. The results weren't there.
And Dan and I had.
And by the way, and I think you got to be careful from the outside, me included, and you guys and all of us, that aren't in the locker room. Do we know what the culture was like in that building?
It's a 4-win culture. That's what my point is. Good, bad, or indifferent. If that culture is good and happy,
you sat there, Tony, told me how hard they play every week. So, I mean, if they're playing hard to me and they're good dudes, that's probably a good culture.
So let's look forward because there's no reason to dissect the past. So I think it's always dangerous to take a small sample size and make an assessment one way or another. I think if you moving forward, like as a team, to me, this is just me, but this is what you have to find out from these coaches. Like there has to be a toughness, both mentally and physically. There has to be a discipline of how you do things, hard work, and there has to be accountability across the organization, holding everyone to the standard. Players, coaches, front office, everybody. Like this is who we are, and that kind of that will dictate kind of the type of player you bring in. And then you got to have to find the right leaders from a player standpoint, because at the end of the day, the players will set the culture. The coach has to kind of set the train tracks and this is who we are and this is how we're going to do things. And the coaching staff, and obviously it's head coach driven in the NFL, is really the arbitrator of that, those rules and setting the culture and who we are. But the great leaders get those players and get the right players, and this is where you have to be working really hand in hand with front office and getting those players in that are going to establish the culture in the locker room, because the players own the locker room.
Right.
That's the players. Okay. And so it's a combination, and it's set by the head coach. He's the voice. He's the one in the front of the organization. That's really the one who has to instill it and hold the line of this is who we are and this is who we're going to be. But then ultimately you got to get the right guys in the locker room, the right type of individuals, leaders that can, drive it and really and own the locker room. Because, every team that I've ever been on that had success and were good teams to be on, the culture was set by the head coach, or this is the rules and kind of how we operate. But it was the players that made sure, this is who we are, and this is what's acceptable, and this is how we do things. And it was players who held each other accountable. You didn't need the coaches holding us accountable as much, because it was done by the locker room, and that's when you have something special, and that's what we need to build here.
Hire Ben Johnson. Let's go. All right. I could shorten this up real quick. And I agree. I don't know what kind of coach he's going to be, but that's the guy I want. So
here's all I'll say about Ben Johnson, and talking to him, and obviously the relationship I have with Mark and hearing how things go up there. This is what I know about Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson is a world-class coordinator of designing offenses and calling a game.
Yes.
World-class. And I think if you were hiring an offensive coordinator, you wouldn't even need an interview. You just say, hey, can come be my offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
However, it's a different job that we are hiring him for.
Yeah.
And while we can think he can be doing that, and I know people in Detroit think he'll be a great head coach. I know my good friend Mark Brunell thinks he's the world of him and thinks he's a leader and can hold a room and he sees them firsthand communicate. But at the end of the day, that's what, Ashad and Trent and whoever else is in those interviews has to sit down and evaluate, can this guy lead my organization?
This is the only question I got for Ben Johnson. Just making sure, Ben, you're still calling the plays, right?
I think that's clear. I think he's calling the plays. I mean, he has said that publicly. And I would be shocked if Ben Johnson is the head coach here.
Yeah.
My guess is as long as he's the head coach here, he'll be calling plays.
Amen to that. Amen. All right, we got to run.
Thanks, Tony.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate you.
All right. Yeah, I don't want to be like Mr. Negative here, or Mr. Debbie Downer, but there seems to be a white elephant in this whole process of this philosophy on who you hire and how you interview. I just checked my notes. You know how many good coaching hires we've had in the history of the franchise? One.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shad Khan couldn't hire a good coach if he went up and slapped him in the nose.
Well, sometimes
opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to go get a defining leader of men. Fail. Every single one of them. I mean, Bradley, massive fail. Marone, fail. Irvin, fail.
It's interesting. You ought to go back. We did this.
Peterson, fail.
We did this last night. Go back and look at the candidates each time. Sometimes there wasn't a real good pool.
Yeah.
I think this time there's a good pool. So
maybe they can get it right this time. I'm just saying there's also this. When it comes to the brain trust of picking the right guy to lead the franchise, we're batting over. Not one time have we gotten a guy who's turned us around.
We're way over. We got to take a break. This is the drill on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Play-by-play just makes everyday life better.
I did not see this one coming.
Get the most play-by-play on 1010XL, Jacksonville's play-by-play sports radio.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking flim-flam tactics. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices, and I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from AirPods to fishing rods. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam!
The Drill on 1010XL. From the studios of Republic Services, we'll handle it from here.
Hey, Hicken here with a message from Zero Res. You have folks over for the holidays, kids everywhere, dirt everywhere, all over the carpets, the rugs, the sofas, the chairs. Did the kitchen tile take a beating? Sounds like it's time to call my guys at Zero Res. Zero's text to get the house looking great again. Folks, if you need help cleaning up after the holiday, give Zero Res a call. I did. Man, they do a great job. They did my upstairs carpet. Looks better, smells better. Right now, get 25% off carpet cleaning, 25% off upholstery cleaning. Zero Res. You spell it forward, Zero Res. You spell it backwards. Think about that for a second. It's the right way to clean.
Don't ignore plumbing leaks. They can lead to mold and mildew or structural damage and drain your wallet. So when you have a leak and can't wait a week, call Roland Reich Plumbing. PlumbingJacksonville.com.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
Tax season is here, and your refund can go further at Big Chief Tire. Frank Frangie here. Put the extra cash to work by investing in your vehicle, whether it's overdue maintenance, brake repairs, or new tires. Their skilled technicians will help you get the most out of every dollar. With 5 Jacksonville locations, fair prices, and trusted service, Big Chief Tire has everything you need to hit the road with confidence. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 today. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling.
Get closer to nature.
Trying to get close to these bucks out here.
Jeff Lageman, Captain Kevin Faber and Captain Kirk Waltz. The Nimnicht Outdoor Show, presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning. Saturday morning, 7 to 10 on 1010XL.
Aren't you just happy when you can handle all your needs in one location? Well, introducing Allstate agent Mandy Bowers in Mandarin. Whether it's home, life, business, or auto, Mandy covers it all. In fact, bundling policy is a great way to add extra savings. Mandy and her crew can do that. Allstate is offering lower auto insurance rates this year. Mandy can do that. You need to give Mandy Bowers a call in her Mandarin office, because when it comes to getting it all done under one roof, Mandy can do that.
Ladies and gentlemen, boaters and landlubbers, friends, four-legged and two, this is Lisa the Botanista with a huge announcement. Freedom Boat Club is opening a brand new 4th location. That's right, Freedom Boat Club St. Augustine Shipyard is now open. Now members can enjoy unlimited access at Julington Creek, Jacksonville Beach, St. Augustine Comanche Cove, and St. Augustine Shipyard. Freedom Boat Club members also enjoy reciprocal access to over 400 locations across the world. There's never been a better time to join. We are offering our biggest discount ever to celebrate our brand new location. We own and maintain an entire fleet of boats. Join the club, and as often as you like, you can do water sports, inshore fishing, offshore fishing, sandbar hopping, dining on the water, or just cruising around town. Visit us at the St. Augustine Shipyard or stop by any of our locations to see what the Boatsierge experience is all about. Visit us at freedomboatclub.com.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
An ACL tear can be a devastating injury with prolonged pain and rehabilitation. Hi, I'm Dr. George Bari. I'm a sports medicine orthopedic surgeon who grew up right here in Jacksonville and then went on to train with the world-renowned Dr. James Andrews. At Bari Orthopedics, we use the most current techniques to get you back in the field with less pain and quicker rehabilitation. We treat all types of sports injuries with the newest techniques available. Please call us for consultation or visit BariOrthopedics.com.
Find out more at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com.
Denny Thompson here. If you haven't heard, Dan and Jeff are going to be live from the brand new showroom at Tyson Sound and Security this Friday. You have to check out Tyson's showroom home theater with surround sound and comfy theater chairs. You can transform your living room into a cinematic experience. Did I mention Friday morning you can enter to win a $2,500 prize giveaway? Bring the theater experience home. Tyson Sound and Security, now at 3555 U.S. Highway 17 in Fleming, Iowa.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Right here. Hey, I wanted to say something. I saw this last night. I'll give the guy a little bit of credit. So, I don't know if you watched the end of the Washington-Tampa game. Washington has a kicker. His name's Zane Gonzalez. And he's coming on to kick the game-winning field goal, man. And he's doing this thing with his hair, man. And he looks like petrified. And I'm like, this cat's going to miss it. Well,
they've had like 100 kickers. If it wasn't his first game, he's only been with him a cup of coffee, I think.
Well, anyway, dude's got OCD. And he's talked about it, and so OCD is obsessive compulsive disorder, that's where you
constantly cleaning, fidgeting, placing.
Yeah, you have obsessions and germs or whatever. And
sure.
Anyway, so the cat went out there, put that helmet on finally, and doinked it and went through. So good for him. Anyway.
Well, you know what? It's funny because he hit that. Well, less than 2 minutes to go in the half, he hit that 52-yarder.
Yes.
Which was a huge kick for it because it was the same thing. I mean, I want to see the, you see so much football and you hear so many little nuances to these players, but I want to say that Washington has been, did they say they've been through like 5 or 6 kickers? And
they have this year?
Yeah, and he has only been there for like a cup of coffee.
He's been in and out of the league for a while. I know his name.
I know his name too, but I'm just saying he has not been, it's not like he's been their kicker all year.
No, I'm going to guess he's kicked for at least 3 teams. What would you say?
Was he like a Cardinal maybe? Where was he?
I don't know. I'm just saying I think he's
I'm going to they do. I bet you maybe even more if he's just like on a team for a week or something.
Yeah.
Cleveland for 18 games, Arizona.
Yeah.
He had 1 full season as their starting kicker in 2019.
Okay.
But this year, he's just 6 games, only 7 field goal attempts all year.
Okay.
So he's not been fully in it. This is the interesting part of the story with Zane Gonzalez. 2021 Panthers, 12 games, hadn't kicked in the league since 2021.
Oh, okay.
That's 2.5 years off before he took this Washington job, and here he is trying to keep him alive in the playoffs. You bring up a thing. Here's why I got a question for you two.
Mm-hmm.
And Dan, you can vouch for this. I've always been a big Lamar fan. I loved him coming out of college. I would like for the Jaguars to have him. I understood his limitations as a passer, but man, he's just got a fantastic skill set, and as he grows into a better passer, who knows, he can have multiple championships in his future. In cases that it doesn't specifically cost the Jags, go get you some. Okay. But I want to ask you guys an honest question. I want your honest answer.
All right.
When Lamar Jackson came into the NFL, how much better a runner was he than Jaden Daniels is right now? How much better? First year in the league, coming into the league, learning the league, how much better a runner was he? If you had to give a letter grade to each as a runner from the quarterback position, Lamar's an A?
A plus.
Is he an A plus right out of the gates? I don't remember.
Right out the gate.
Yes.
A plus.
He had that run against the Bengals.
Yep. That spin, that jump was crazy. A plus.
He was the best. He was surpassing Vic as the best one I'd ever seen.
Yes.
Okay.
I thought Vic was always the fastest guy.
Okay.
Yeah,
he was always fast, but not as dynamic as Lamar.
But Lamar was a human highlight.
Yeah.
Jaden, good. Really good, but not Lamar.
Yeah, he's not Lamar. To me, he's closer to Vic. Like, he's just fast. He's running past people. He ain't shaking and baking like Lamar.
By the way, speaking of running quarterbacks, y'all happen to see what?
I'm not. Continue. I'm listening to y'all. I'm absorbing, and then we'll.
I was going to say, did you see the act of athleticism on the reality show by Cam Newton this weekend?
No.
Cam Newton's on a boat. Boat's hauling butt, and a chopper's right above him, right?
Oh yeah, I did see the previews of that.
Yeah, Cam Newton.
It's like tactical force.
Yeah. Cam Newton grabs the helicopter while the boat's hauling A.
This is real. This is no AI.
No, this is real. And then pulls himself up. And Cam Newton ain't a young cat anymore, and he's a big dude.
Yeah.
But he pulled himself up into the helicopter. His unbelievable fit of.
What is the show? What did tell you? Say it's a reality show?
Yeah, some new reality show. Anyway, back to the thing.
All right. Well, okay. So as a runner, y'all are definitely on board with
Lamar's the guy.
With Lamar as a rookie being further along as a runner than.
Yes.
Yep.
I feel like Lamar is almost unstoppable on 3rd and 2 if he wants to run.
Okay, well let me ask you this.
Yeah, you're gonna tell me the numbers were the same?
I'm not gonna tell you the numbers are the same. I'm gonna tell you Lamar ran it 147 times as a rookie for 695 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
He had
had
a long run of 39 yards.
Yeah.
He ran for 4.7 a pop.
Wow.
Jaden Daniels just carried it 148 times, one more, for 891 yards, 6 touchdowns, along with 46 yards and 6.0 average. So I'm going to ask you again. Lamar was a better runner coming into the league than Jaden Daniels is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Let's, if we could, just venture over to another part of the ever important part of being a quarterback. So you're going to give Lamar an A+. What can I get for Jaden Daniels as a runner coming into the league? I'll remind you, he ran for 891 yards. Can I get an A at least?
At least, yeah. B plus or A.
Second best running quarterback in the league?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Now, give me a letter grade for Lamar Jackson coming into the league as a passer. And by the way, just as a passer. Coming into the league, I'm not saying what he.
Well, there was a lot of questions.
By his year 2 or 3, he'd won an MVP, right, with that big statistical year. I'm not saying that you can't make plays, but I'm saying his grade as a passer as a rookie.
I'd probably go C+.
C+. Now, give me Jaden Daniels' grade as a passer, as a rookie. And before you do, I'll just tell you, he went 70% completion, 3,500 yards, 25 touchdowns, 9 picks, a rating of 100, and a QBR of 70.
In my mind, he was a better passer.
A B+?
Yeah. Yep.
Honestly,
I don't say this to tell you Jaden Daniels is better. I'm saying, look out for Washington.
Yeah.
I think Daniels is under the radar here. I don't think we're giving this man his due.
Yeah.
I disagree with you. I think he runs just like Lamar. He skits around. He stays on his feet, and he hits the ground before they hit him. He's got breakaway speed. He did the same thing at LSU that Lamar did at Louisville. The same thing. He had all those rushing yards, only passed
but more than
even
that,
more proficiently.
More than that, last night when it was 20-20 and there was a third down, he stepped back and zipped it over the middle for about
Lamar
15
couldn't do that at that stage. And then I'll also ask this again, just correct me if I'm wrong, but Lamar didn't win a playoff game his rookie year on the road, did he?
Nobody does.
And Lamar had a home playoff game his second year, I think, against the Chargers back in 2017. He didn't win that game either, did he?
Nope.
Jaden Daniels is way ahead of the curve, and he played a season right now that kind of got lost among all. We had some crazy offensive numbers this year, right? Lamar, Saquon. There's so much going on that was grabbing headlines that this dude just came into the league significantly ahead of where Lamar came into the league. Oof, let's see.
8 o'clock hour coming up right here on The Drill.
What the hell's going on out here?
Where passion and fundamentals meet.
What we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
1010XL, Jacksonville Sports Radio. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Hey, couldn't be any happier to be part of the George Moore Chevrolet family. And when I say family, that's what I'm talking about. That's how they'll treat you when you visit the beautiful showroom of Atlantic Boulevard. You'll find out what I'm talking about. Ain't no pressure there, just friendly help. And I got my boy Blue, that blue Silverado, if you want a truck like me or a car, an SUV, an electric, a pre-owned, whatever you want. George Moore Chevrolet's got it. If you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no worries. MooreChevy.com has all your answers, and it's so easy to get around and navigate. It's got sales, all the vehicles, service, parts. Never been more easy to use. It's George Moore Chevrolet, gang. Together, let's drive.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
Man, jack of all trades, masters of none? It just feels like at every turn nowadays, every company can do all work. Not us. Hi, Stevie Beatrice here, second generation plumber right here in Jacksonville, Florida. We are your master plumbing company that only focuses on all your plumbing needs. So for your next plumbing job, don't call another Jack. Call Beatrice Plumbing, where plumbing is what we do and plumbing is what we're great at. Beatrice Plumbing, here to help.
The Drill on 1010XL. From the studios of Republic Services, we'll handle it from here.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Prosper here. When it comes time to sell your home or you're thinking about selling your home, wouldn't you really love a guaranteed no-hassle home sale, but you don't want to give up hard-earned equity to do it? Guess what? You can with Chad and Sandy. If you want to sell your home soon, you need to get the process started now and get it sold fast, easy, and at top dollar with Chad and Sandy Newman. Local real estate experts I trust and recommend and have now for years. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Mike and Rosemary in St. Augustine write in, we needed to move on to a more affordable home in a specific school zone, but our mortgage pre-qualification wasn't enough and at a high interest rate. Chad and Sandy negotiated with a lender, lowered the interest rate by 1%, and increased our approval amount. We got the home we needed for $200 less per month than our prior lender's rate. That's what you get with Chad and Sandy. That guarantee. Call today, 414-6200, or go to chadandsandy.com.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Jacksonville. When AEW returns home, it is the biggest party in all of professional wrestling.
Daily's Place, the home of AEW.
And on Saturday, January 25th, Collision returns live. It's a new year and a whole new era in AEW. And there's no better time to experience the excitement than right now. AEW Collision Homecoming, live from Daily's Place in Jacksonville, Florida. Tickets on sale now, starting at $20 at AEWTIX.com.
1010XL is the home of Gator Nation and the Gator Bites podcast presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. I'm Hacker, and we keep you connected with the University of Florida all year long. Get Gator Bites where you find podcasts.
I'm Ben from Beard's Diamonds. My father and I buy our stones direct from the diamond cutters. No middleman, no big company overhead, no commission salespeople, and we pass the savings on to you. Before you buy anywhere else, remember, Beard's Diamonds will beat any competitor's price.
In the St. John's Town Center or at beardsdiamonds.com.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here for Pella Windows and Doors. Look, it's kind of cooling down right now. I love opening my windows up this time of year. If you're looking to upgrade your windows in your home, I want you to visit the Pella showroom on Phillips Highway. Ask about their latest hurricane and impact-resistant windows and doors, rated #1 by Consumer Reports in all 3 main window categories. You want quality, style, and protection? Visit PellaJacks.com and the showroom on Phillips Highway just north of Bay Meadows. That's Pella Windows and Doors online at PellaJacks.com.
Don't go through another year with all that high-interest debt. Let Loan Pronto wipe it all out now. Hey, it's Prosser here, and Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan makes it easy to pay off all your credit cards or tackle that 2025 home improvement project. Get cash in your pocket fast. No appraisals, no paperwork, no waiting. Loan Pronto's AI-driven tech gets you approved and funded in as little as 1 day. One client got $150,000 approved in under 24 hours, paid off all their credit cards, 2 cars, and personal loans, saving over $1,500 per month. With low fixed rates and lightning fast transfers, you can do it too. Consolidate debt, improve your home, take control of your finances. Imagine being credit card debt-free by this time next week. You can. Don't wait. Call Loan Pronto now, 904-999-1508, or visit loanpronto.com. Get your free quote now with no hard credit pull at 904-999-1508. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166178. Subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Here's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, sponsored by Blue Chew. Sometimes it's the individual effort that can pull a team across the finish line to a win, as was the case for Todd Golden's Gators in their win over Arkansas.
One guy I want to highlight is Sam Alexis. I thought he stepped up remarkably tonight, gave us great minutes off the bench to give us 6 and 7 and play a really solid game was huge for us.
Florida will next play tomorrow evening facing Missouri. The Jaguars continue to move forward with the interviewing process, having recently conducted an interview with former Raider DC Patrick Graham, while Robert Saleh is scheduled for Tuesday. Our home state teams in the NBA, the Magic entered Sunday's game against the 76ers already without players and lost 2 more while playing. But Orlando would left Kia Center with a win over Philadelphia. At your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, I'm Sam Nelson.
Currently, it's 8:10 and it's 47 degrees. Your time and your temp is brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the 10-minute drill.
This is a big one.
Brought to you by
Advanced Business Solutions.
your local authorized Xerox dealer on 1010XL.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Hit it.
Sports concepts and rationalizations coming your way. It's a 10-minute drill. At the end of the drill, we like to hand out a prize bag. E continues to say it's razzle-dazzle. What do we got today?
Oh, I got a pair of tickets to AEW Collision. That's going down January 25th at Daily's Place. Tickets on sale right now, though, at All Elite Wrestling. It's on sale at allelitewrestling.com.
You know, you were talking about the Titans early and what they had and what dunderheads they were. They had Vrabel, they had Henry. Don't forget they had A.J. Brown. I mean, those are arguably three of the tops at their positions in the NFL. Tannehill was playing good. Maybe the one, though, that you could deal with letting go, if ultimately it's just going to implode on itself, it's A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
Dude's reading a book on the sideline yesterday. Man, y'all, anybody that's defending this, I just don't know what planet you're on.
book.
Let me ask you this question, Dan. If you and I were having a conversation, and every time I stopped talking and you started talking, in other words, well, the defense is on the field, he doesn't play. Every time we had a conversation and then you started talking, I just started reading a book. And then when you're done, I started talking and doing my part. And then when you started talking, I just started reading a book. It wouldn't matter what the book would be. I mean, you're at a football game. You're playing a game. There's 1,000 things you could be doing on the sideline to help you for the next possession. Reading a book on the sideline ain't part of the drill.
No.
And if you do it, it's an intentional act of defiance and disrespect to your team.
Packers weren't going to win that game, Jeff, but that fumble on the first play, I don't understand how
it's the most loser thing in sports is fumbling the open kick.
Yeah, but I don't understand how they ruled that was Philly's ball.
Yeah, he had it. It was weird.
Twice. He got it. And then he got it back again.
Philly never had it.
No.
And they had the overhead view.
No, I didn't get that.
Fair.
And then late.
No, it's fair. I thought the same thing.
On the pick in the end zone, the other dude smoked the Packer receiver before the ball got there. I didn't understand how they
didn't get any help.
Now, again, I don't think they were going to win. But there's the fun. I mean, I don't get this call.
No one. There's never an Eagle that even comes close to having it.
Where
are they
right
giving
there.
it? He always had it.
Yeah.
And it's just that one really chaps you when they send it to New York and they can't get that one right.
Yeah.
That is. By the way, they had one later in the game where they didn't give him his was it that game? Yeah, where they didn't give him the yardage on the completion.
Mm-hmm.
They had thought it was a penalty, and then they said, no, it wasn't a legal man downfield, pass incomplete, when really he caught it and got 8 yards.
Interesting how the transfer portal works in any sport. I read this nugget this week. The Gators got Elijah Martin from FAU, and he was part of a Final Four team there with the kid John L. Davis. John L. Davis was the prize of the transfer portal. Elijah Martin was 117th ranked player in the transfer portal. He has been great for Florida. As a shooter, as a defender, as a guard, he has been terrific. John L. Davis is in a mega slump and cannot score and is killing Arkansas. And he went 0 for 8 again on Saturday and had 3 turnovers. He has been a disaster. And Elijah Martin has been terrific, and one reason why the Gators are rolling and were able to bounce back and beat Arkansas in a game where they fell behind and didn't panic, which was nice to see. I think it was 12-2 or 11-2. Something like that, and Florida got right back in it, caught them by the half, took a comfortable 5, 6, 7-point lead, never were able to really, got up as much as 11, got down to 3. Walter Clayton Jr. has not been playing great basketball, and Florida still found ways to win. So
I think that's being I think that's being overblown. It's reaching the point of unfairness to Clayton. I've watched a lot of basketball, not by you, because this was pounded home on the daggum game the other day about Clayton. You got to have his better. He must have got to talk at halftime. Clayton. The Florida Gators are where there's a little lagway into Clayton to Golden's Napier. This guy Clayton damn near saved the program. He came in last year. He was just unbelievable, and he hasn't shot great from 3, but he is still the meat and potatoes of that offense.
Yeah, but if he's an SEC Player of the Year, he's got to play better. That's all. I think he had 7 points against Tennessee. It was not impressive, and then he had a bad first half against Arkansas. I'll just nitpick on the Gators here a little bit because obviously they're in a great position. They're going to be ranked top 5 in the country today, I suspect. I think Auburn goes to number 1. My only the only thing I question about Florida is our teams just shooting, like the last 2 games, it looks like they get open looks and the ball isn't going down. I don't know if it's the Florida defense or just these teams aren't making their shots. We'll find out.
I think it's probably a little bit of. I do think it can't be total coincidence that you gave up 106. Your coach said, finally, that's enough. We can't play defense like it's an unwanted distraction. And you've rebounded with your 2 best defensive games.
Arkansas was averaging 50-some points a game.
So they're not a big scorer anyway.
No, they're not.
And they shot terrible. And they're not a good shooting team.
They've been a terrible shooting team all year. But again, on the road, Bud Walton Arena, tough place to play, 18,000. Yeah, it's a good win. I'll say it again. Any win on the road in the SEC this year is good. They got Missouri at home they're home for 2 now, huh? They're home against Missouri, and then they're home against Texas on Saturday. Looks like it's
those should be 2 wins.
Looks like it's a 4:00 game. Then they go to South Carolina. Then they got Georgia at home, so they got a chance here.
There's a couple things in that schedule for people to note. Texas is back-to-back played highly ranked teams tough at home.
Right.
South Carolina should have beat Auburn the other day.
Yeah.
They blew the game. They couldn't hit free throws down the stretch. They were nip and tuck and leading the whole way. That's the worst team in the league against the number 1 team in the country.
Yeah.
And Georgia had 2. They beat Kentucky and Oklahoma last week. They had 2 ranked wins. They're going to be in the top 20 when the poll comes out today.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's not Auburn, Tennessee, Alabama, Kentucky by any stretch, but that kind of symbolizes what the SEC is this year.
And then here's why they need to win. They have a February 1st game at Tennessee, and a February 8th game at Auburn.
Good.
And then a February 11th game at Mississippi State.
And that's awesome. I can't wait for those games. And for Todd Golden to have Florida basketball where it is been amazing. It's fun.
Did you see the video? Shaq was in Gainesville.
Yeah, with the big
and he turned around and
Ryu.
looked at Olivier Ryu. It was pretty funny.
He literally, now this just goes to show you it's not hype.
Yeah.
He's literally like 4 or 5 inches taller than Shaq.
Oh, way above him.
Like Shaq turns around and Shaq's like forehead is at this dude's like under his chin.
I mean, way above him.
He's so tall, and he looks like he's like putting his body together a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like anytime the guy's 7'9", you know he always looks like a stick man, right? Like Sean Bradley, who never gained any weight. Like this guy already looks like he's put thicker than Sean Bradley, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm. How about this concepts and rationalizations? Did you have one more college basketball?
Yeah, Cooper Flag.
Yeah.
Cooper Flag set the ACC freshman scoring record, the Duke freshman scoring record. He had 42.
Yeah.
This guy's exactly what they told us he was.
Yeah. He'll be the first pick of the draft. He's on the Mendenhall team. Pross, these Elite 8 are the only teams in college basketball that are top 5 in every team sheet metric. These are the teams that you look at to win it all.
Florida definitely going to be on this.
Auburn, Tennessee, Florida, Iowa State, Duke, Bama, KU, and Marquette.
I tell you what, give credit then to the pollsters, because outside of Marquette, that's about how they got them lined up.
Yeah.
I want to say this about the college football playoff, because they played another game since we left.
Mm-hmm.
And along the way, there are things you could quibble about with the 12-team playoff, mistakes that were made. And then there's also been check marks you can make. And remember, I made the point last week, hey, look, in the old system, Oregon and Georgia would have been in, and they would have gotten blown out, and we would have had Final Four games that weren't any good.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a check. Okay, we eliminated that. By the time we got to the best 4, we had eliminated 2 that really weren't there. Now we're going to go a step further with a check mark, because with Ohio State and Notre Dame meeting this week, in the first year of the playoff, we have correctly identified and now placed 2 teams going to play for it all that would not have been in a 14 playoff.
Yeah. Is that good or bad?
That's great. It righted a wrong, because the 4 that would have been in there, these 2 teams beat each of the 4. It would have been, now again.
That's great because you want the teams that are playing the best at the end of the year?
No, it's great because it's proof that you need to have the ability to win your championship on the field and not just take a guess at who it might be.
So Ohio State losing to Michigan shouldn't have cost them.
That's right.
It would have cost them.
Yeah, that's right.
Year.
It would have cost them.
So in a way,
I don't know that Penn State, Notre Dame may have gotten in. If you are analyzing those teams, knowing that you're only putting 4 instead of 12, you may not have gotten both Georgia, Texas, and both Oregon, Penn State, because those ended up being the 4 as they were ranked.
Yeah.
But 7 and 8, you take away the 2 who got gifted their seeds, Boise State and Arizona State. At least you had 2 teams that would have been on the outside of a 4-team field. Turns out they're the 2 best teams. And it's even more noteworthy they're the 2 best because of who they beat in the 2 rounds. The 4 that would have been the 4.
Yeah, they earned their way in.
For sure.
And now they will play for the national title. They should just play tonight. I don't know why we have to wait another week. I mean, what are we doing? But they'll play next Monday, and we shall see. All right, 641-1010. Come kind, come courteous, come correct. Tell them what they're going to win.
Going to get you a pair of tickets to AEW Collision. That's happening January 25th at Daly's Place. But tickets on sale now at allelitewrestling.com. 904-641-1010 right now.
Tensions build.
3rd and 12. Let's go.
Plot thickens.
We got to get off the field.
Crowds roar. Tune in and let the show begins. Your home for live play-by-play is 1010XL.
Do the Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
It's the time of year all our customers love. At Garber Auto Mall, every 2024 must go. Take advantage of thousands in discounts on all new Chevy, Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Ford. Visit us in Green Cove Springs or at GarberAutomall.com. And remember, at Garber Auto Mall, there's always a little room for wiggle.
Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
Football's heating up. The NBA is back. And on Hard Rock Bet, you can bet every sport. Even combine all your sports into one bet. One Florida bettor put $50 on a combo parlay and won more than $100,000. And they tacked on another $10,000 to that win with a daily profit boost. Promos every day for every kind of player. Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us. Win your first bet or get up to $100 back in bonus bets. Payable and bonus bet up to $100, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
The Drill from the studios at Republic Services. We'll handle it from here.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's contestant, a professional stamp licker from Jacksonville, Florida, meet Martin Celery.
Oh, gosh. I can't wait to play, Bob.
Well, let's move things along. Tell him what he's won, Johnny.
Wait, but
That's right, Marty. At Bueller Air and Plumbing, we've stocked up on the remaining inventory of low-cost 2024 model air conditioners. So you win. We're passing the savings on to you.
Can I answer a question first?
We need to make room for the 25s, so we're offering great deals on AC replacements while supplies last.
Could I spin the wheel at least? I've been practicing for a year.
With last-minute deals like this, there's no question that you are cool.
What do I tell my kids?
There you go. Have a souvenir t-shirt.
Thanks.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
If you're ready to transform your yard with a fence that stands out, elevate your curb appeal with Superior Fence and Rail. Superior takes pride in offering first-class service, friendly installers, and unmatched fence products. Mention this ad and get $250 off your next project. It's time to get off the fence and call today.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year, and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, the only cost for the books and the course fees, about $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org, and you can apply there.
Apply by May 15th.
Integrity, persistence, and standing up for victims. It's what you want in a personal injury case and what my friend and lawyer Glenn Cohen brings to every case for over 40 years. Call Glenn at Barnes & Cohen.
Hey, fellas, what's going on? It's your boy E.T. the T here, and it's a brand new year, which means a brand new you, especially in the bedroom. So if you're ready to make 2025 the year to level up where it counts, let me make it a little easier for you. Get yourself some Blue Chew. They've got chewable tablets with the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, and Staxin. That means you're getting top-tier performance without leaving the house. Blue Chew comes right to the front door in a discreet package so your nosy neighbors won't know what's going on. No doctor's office, no pharmacy runs. Just licensed medical pros helping you find the right prescription. And guess what? They're made right here in the good old U.S. of A. Oh, and did I mention it's free? Yeah, you heard me. Your first month is free. So what you waiting for? Visit BlueChew.com and get that consultation. Start the year off right with that confidence to keep things interesting. That's BlueChew.com, baby. And let's make this year unforgettable.
Grinding out good grades can be just as challenging as winning games. That's why 1010XL salutes the Scholar Athlete of the Week.
Brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234. Wednesdays on The Frangie Show.
Baloo here for Smoonez Vision. Why Smoonez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smoonez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smoonez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Here you can see.
You don't have to be a football star to get a signing bonus. The team at Republic Services needs your skills, and they're paying up to $5,000 for you to join the roster. You'll be joining a winner. As an essential business, the Republic Services trucks have not stopped rolling with hourly and weekly pay and better benefits and vacation packages than the rest of the league. Driver trainees, $1,000 sign-on bonus. CDL drivers, $3,000. Diesel mechanics, $5,000 bonus. Join the winning team at Republic Services today. Visit republicservices.com.
Equal opportunity employer. This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Go to WM.com/Duval.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line.
Hello.
We can wiggle it. Now, Dan and Jeff hand it off to our halfback.
Fred Taylor, every time he touches it, he's a candidate to go the distance.
Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein & Robbins DUI defense firm and Monahan Jewelers on 1010XL.
All right, time to talk all things NFL with our friend Fred Shake Taylor, NFL.
The Monday morning running back.
Hall of Fame finalist.
Ah, you're right, man. It's coming down in the next few weeks, isn't it? It's awesome. It's exciting.
He's in the room. He's in the room, ladies and gentlemen.
Lucky to have him each and every Monday morning and pick his brain. And, you know, Fred, we were sitting here kicking around. Good morning, friend, first of all.
Good morning, guys.
Morning, Freddie.
We're kicking around, you know, the coaching options here, and certainly there's some great coordinators that are on the list. And I'm wondering, Fred, would you have any concern? Is this a fair concern? Is it valid at all? But I think of the coordinators in Baltimore and Buffalo, Joe Brady and Todd Monken, each who are reportedly finalists here. Should I be a little more concerned about an offensive coordinator whose quarterbacks are so good making plays off script? You know what I mean? It feels like Lamar and Josh Allen do so much that's outside of any play call or playbook that I don't know how much their coordinator would or should get credit for it. But I suppose that you have those kind of nuances with, you know, a lot of situations around the league.
No, I certainly understand what you mean. You know, it's like, can you have one without the other?
Right.
And who's pulling who along? Is there a certain handicap set based on whether the quarterback is just elite? And it doesn't matter who's in there. For example, Ken Dorsey, who was in Buffalo, he went on, and now he's being fired after a year in Cleveland. But that quarterback play hasn't been, you know, it's been very subpar for the past several years. So it's like potato. Who knows, right? And we also said that when Doug Peterson came in, you know, we were all excited that first year. He's a quarterback's coach. He's a former quarterback, played in this league. He's an offensive genius guru type. And we paired him up with Trevor, and that didn't work out so well. But also on the flip side, Trevor did have a few injuries. Did Doug call the plays all the time? We don't know because you insert Press Taylor, and a lot of fans have been calling for Press's head for a few years now. So, in terms of hiring, you have to make a decision. And you never know what that looks like until you start winning ball games. You can say, well, this is our guy. We missed on this guy. You don't know until you start winning. I remember last week after our show, I mentioned Aaron Glenn, and then I saw a few tweets that they were going to add Aaron Glenn to the pot. And I know Patrick, I can't think of his last name right now. Graham. Patrick was in New England when I was finishing my career. Very smart, amazing person, a great personality, defensive mind, offensive mind. He can do it all. So, but we don't know until we start winning. No one cares. You know, we care who the coach is based on track record right now and what they're doing. Their teams have success. but that doesn't translate to success in Jacksonville.
Good point.
Right?
Yeah.
It hasn't.
Aaron Glenn is an interesting one, and I know he had his interview this weekend along with Ben Johnson. And the buzz, and again, who knows, right? But the buzz is, I think he's going to get a job. I think it might be in New York. I've heard a lot about the Jets, so we shall see. We shall see. But
it's interesting.
He's very well thought of, and once you mentioned that, people kind of did a deep dive into him, and a lot of positive comments.
I can remember from the little NFL films deal they do. What's it called? Hard Knocks.
Mm-hmm.
I can remember you could see the personality there and the way he worked with the offensive coordinator, the competition they set up. I think that was big in building ultimately what the Lions have become. So, yeah, I think you're spot on there. I think there's a lot of people, Fred, that would appreciate Aaron Glenn and what he would bring. Interesting. We want the offense to get going. 3 of the first 4 interviewed from the defensive side of the ball. Now, part of that is because you got to wait to interview some of these guys that are in the playoffs right now. Fred, if you were making it seems from talking to you last week and now the beginning of this that a guy who is a proven alpha dog leader of men is as important as either side of the ball that he might come from.
Yeah, that I think, and that's why I mentioned Aaron Glenn type, because I know what he stands for. I remember, and I mentioned to you guys that we were sitting in that ballroom at the hotel in Indy around combine time, and he said, "I'm not leaving here until I get an opportunity to scout and build my way up this ladder, and I'm going to coach." And he said it that day, and I have to admire, that conviction and the will, the desire, the passion that he spoke to that day, and I know how he is as a former teammate. I know what he stood for then. I know what he stands for now. Have an interview with him on our show, The Pivot, and just knowing AG. So I like that as a hire. But again, success is determined by how many wins you bring to the organization. I also felt like after a few years, Mark has gained so much experience. He's working under Ben Johnson there in Detroit. Why not also potentially look at Aaron Glenn and maybe Mark Brunell as an OC?
Yeah, we thought about that.
Amazing, so I mean, that's, and I'm just throwing stuff out there.
Sure, yeah.
But I also like Steve Spagnuolo, someone who's so much experience, a defensive guru. He shut down Tom Brady in 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
He's been alongside Andy Reid, one of the greatest offensive minds in the entire game of football. Now, I believe that's only made him a better defensive coordinator. It's going to make him a better coach. I think he understands relatability when it comes to players. No, we won't have a Patrick Mahomes back there, but we do have a Trevor Lawrence. And Spagnuolo might be a guy who gets it. You have to have a coach who gets it, who understands the dynamics and how to build a roster, and also who knows how to be relatable when times get tough. And I think Spagnuolo can be that guy with his experience. I think Aaron Glenn and his passion for the game and his sense of urgency and attention to detail, I believe those two can be at the top of my personal list for candidates that are out there. And I do like what Ben Johnson has done with the turnaround in Detroit. But again, Jared Goff isn't a bum. And when you talk about these other guys, they have some dog quarterbacks back there.
Fred, one of the hot topics after the weekend in the National Football League is we watch Wild Card Weekend in the playoffs, and it appears like nothing's going to change in Pittsburgh. I just wonder if a change of scenery, because we all know if Mike Tomlin left, he would get scooped up by there'd be 25 teams knocking at his door. But sometimes you wonder if the message just gets old, or does it get stale or whatever. But for the Steelers, and the Steelers have these expectations, as you know, Steeler fans, and it's been a few years since they won what is it, Jeff?
I think
16?
15 or 16.
They won a playoff game since 16. He's never had a losing record.
We beat him in 17.
I don't think anybody's arguing he's a great coach. He is a great coach. I'm just wondering if it would serve him and the organization if they parted ways. What do you think?
Well, you can always go out there and hire someone who isn't proven or someone who lacks consistency and find yourself at. Hello? Can you hear?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can find yourself at 3-14 or 2-15.
Yeah, that's fair. I see your point.
I get from Coach Mike Tomlin, you're going to get a ton of consistency. You know what you get. It's going to be black and white year in, year out, and he's going to give you a shot, whether it's 8-9, whether it's 9-8, 10-7. It's a tough division over there.
Yeah.
With the Ravens, Lamar, Cincinnati, and Joe Burrow, and what they have. And I mean, so you can take a shot and say this isn't working. We got to improve and get better. Yes, that's the mindset. But also, the grass isn't always greener. You know what Tomlin's going to bring to the table. You can sleep peacefully at night. At the very least, your fan base will be entertained throughout the duration of the season. It might be some heartbreak in the playoffs, but you're in the playoffs.
I think part of the problem for Tomlin is that he's been too good for them to be able to draft the quarterback they need, right? They're always like, they're not quite good enough. They don't have a quarterback, and they're not good enough to make a serious run at the Super Bowl. But because they're going 10-7, 9-8, they're picking 20th. They never, because they've tried, right? They took Pickett one year. They've taken guys. They just can't find the quarterback after Roethlisberger. I think that's more the reason for the playoff drought than Tomlin, for sure.
Yeah, and also I think when you have other teams that have just amazing rosters, because that Steelers team isn't a bum team. It's not a bad team.
Fair.
Obviously, they made the playoffs. I mean, the Ravens are just better. Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, they're a ton to deal with. The Ravens defense has gotten better at the right time of the season. They've ascended. They found that good mix and that chemistry, and they're playing well. They're playing fast. They're communicating, and they're flying around the ball. But, again, I don't believe that Steelers team is a bad roster. I like what Russ did this year. Justin Fields, who knows what he's capable of. He's not playing a ton. That defense is that defense. They have some amazing talent. They draft well. It's just a matter of time before you see the Steelers back in the AFC Championship. Mike Tomlin has what it takes. I don't believe the Steelers fire him. I don't believe you'll see him coaching anywhere anytime soon.
Fred, I have one more question for you. You said something last week, and doggone it stuck with me, and I even watched the games differently this weekend. So I'm going to ask you a question about something you just said in passing.
All right.
Why do you hate the toss? Why do you hate the toss sweep? I see a lot of teams running that toss. And then I started thinking, I wonder why Fred hates that play. Why do you hate the toss sweep compared to it?
It's a play that's supposed to test the leverage of the defense. And, I don't mind an outside stretch. Give me the ball deep in the backfield. Your quarterback has to be on his horse to get it to me. But I would rather have my eyes on the defensive end and on the defensive leverage versus taking my eyes off the ball, off the leverage, securing the catch and the pitch, and then put my eyes back to
What an interesting answer. That's not the answer I was expecting. That's I'm glad I asked.
I much rather just have it in my hands now so I can run my track and keep my eyes on the defender. The quarterback's job is to put it in my pocket.
Okay.
My job is to clamp down on it, all while still keeping my vision and my sight on the defender. And when I have it in my hand, I'm ready to react, make a move, versus taking my eyes off the defender, looking the ball in, and then putting my eyes back on the defender. That split second can be costly, and sometimes the pitch works. But it's the NFL. Everyone's fast. If a defender is playing his leverage, no way you get out there.
Gotcha.
It just doesn't happen. You have to have a Tony Baselli looking for you to make it happen. I'd much rather just have a 39 boss outside stretch handoff and let me do my thing.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Great stuff, Fred. Give me 39.
Thank you, Fred. Yeah. All right, Freddie. We'll talk to you next week. Appreciate you, my brother.
All right, guys. I'll see you soon.
Yes, sir. There he goes. That's Fred Taylor. Best of them. We love Freddie. Guy's been since he showed up in 1994 on the
6'2" stack monster. 6'2" stack monster. Ready to break.
All right, this is the drill. It's the Monday morning quarterback divorce, menonly.com.
The path to victory starts here.
Jacksonville on the move here. First drive of the game.
1010XL, home of the Jaguars.
What a win for Jacksonville!
Hacker here with a question. Was your goal to lose weight this year? If so, are you already down 31 pounds? Now that's a serious question because I dropped 31 pounds my first 3 weeks alone with Awaken 180 weight loss. Now I had more to lose than most, but Dempsey, Matt Hayes both dropped 18 in their first 3 weeks. That's how fast the weight can fall off when you choose the solution for weight loss. Where am I now? I'm down over 115 pounds. My goal was to lose 100, but my new goal is to be under 200 pounds for the first time since I was in college. The results are real and the results are fast with Awaken 180. Whether you're not seeing these types of results with your new weight loss program or if you've already given up, don't. Do what we all did and make the call to Awaken 180. 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Hey, when it comes to insurance, I think we all think kind of the same way. We pay lots of money monthly, so if something happens and we need you, you need to be there, and that's what the Kaproskis do. Craig and Chris Kaproski teaming up to take care of all of our insurance needs, and when I say take care of, I mean it. 2 words, customer service. They believe in it, and they live it. If something happens, you call them, they get you your answers right away because you're calling them in a time of strife, a time of need. If they don't answer, they call you right back. And in this day and age, sometimes that stuff is lost. So homeowners, auto, flood, boat, small business, Kaproskis will always be there for you. Get an insurance checkup today. Craig.Kaproski at goosehead.com. Craig.Kaproski, K-O-P-R-O-S-K-I at goosehead.com. Or call 478-8422. That's 478-8422. Craig and Chris Kaproski, part of the Goosehead Insurance family, part of our family as well.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking flim-flam tactics. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices, and I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from AirPods to fishing rods. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam!
The Drill on 1010XL. From the studios of Republic Services, we'll handle it from here.
Hey, Hicken here from my friends at Beaches Dermatology. You know Beaches Dermatology. I talk about them all the time, every day. That's Doctors Boudreaux, Doctors Metz, Dr. Fader with the Mohs surgery. The staff, second to none. I go to the one off Solano Road. Other places, though, to serve you under the Beaches Dermatology umbrella. Why? Because they do business the right way. And they want to remind you, even in these cold temps, man, if that sun's out, man, protect your skin. Put on that hat. Put on that long sleeve dry fit. Wear that sunscreen if you're going to be out there all day. And by the way, if something pops up on your skin, then get it checked out. Don't wait. Go to Beaches Dermatology. Easy to make an appointment online. Simple at beachesdermatology.com. That way you can pick the location that's best closest to you. That's beachesdermatology.com.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminix. When mice and rats show up in your home or business, they can be a real pain. You need them out fast, before they have time to multiply. Terminix knows how to shut down rodents and will keep them from coming back to wreak more havoc. When rodents show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with a rodent problem, Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online just like I did. That's TERMINIX.com. TERMINIX.com.
Start the new year with a fresh look for your home. It's the Renewal by Andersen New Year's sales event. For a limited time, save 20% off on our energy-efficient windows and patio doors designed to keep your home comfortable year-round and your energy bills down. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation. But hurry, the special New Year's offer won't last. License number CGC 1527613.
Hey, sports fans, it's Hayes Carlyon from MyBookie. It's win now or go home. The NFL playoffs are the ticket to the biggest game of the year, and all roads lead to New Orleans. The NCAA playoffs will set the stage, but this is your chance to get in on every high-stakes moment along the way. Your road to New Orleans starts now with MyBookie. MyBookie is the ultimate destination for bettors who want more. Whether you're backing the underdogs or riding with the favorites, every drive, every touchdown, every moment is an opportunity to win big. Kick off your 2025 right with risk-free Thursdays. Place a bet. If it doesn't hit, MyBookie has your back. Dive into the Bet Boost tab to supercharge your picks and build that bankroll before the big game. The action doesn't stop. MyBookie's online casino keeps the excitement going 24/7. If you haven't joined yet, now's the time. Use promo code 1010XL on your first deposit, and MyBookie will hook you up with an instant bonus because you deserve to start strong.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T.
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text PEC to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text PEC to 321-321. That's PEC to 321-321.
Go inside your home team's locker room with Jags beat reporter Hayes Carline.
Check out my blog at 1010XL.com
so you can catch all the news and nuggets you need to know.
My blog is brought to you by Roland Reach Plumbing,
where quality and experience count. 1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
All right, we're back, baby. We're back. Better than ever. The new and improved drill.
2025.
By the way, you have been relegated to sending in your Dear Drill request. It's a paperless society. I don't know what it took us so long.
Uh-huh.
So we have officially opened it up at, what is it, deardrill@1010XL.com. So now you don't have to get a stamp and send it in a mail bag, and Dan doesn't have to drop the. We had some serious breaches of privacy recently. Dan dropped 4 or 5 of the letters in the hallway, led to some apologies. So now we don't have to worry about that. It's a secure folder, so your dirty little secrets will stay safe with us. But we're gonna transfer out of the paper society into paperless, and so now you've heard the expert advice. I mean, everywhere we go, we are now getting commendations, quite frankly. So if your world has gone sideways because you're a knucklehead and you need some tough love or some advice, it's, what is it, Dear Drill at 1010XL.com?
Dear Drill at 1010XL.com.
Yeah, this should end well. One of us is going to get shot out of this one. That's how that's going to end. Anywho, I got today's Daily's Double Take, Dan.
Okay.
Enough with the nice guy act, Saquon. You're costing the country cash, okay? If you don't want to set the single-game rushing record, we didn't put anything on that. If you don't want to set the all-time NFL single-season rushing record, hey, you know what? Give Dickerson his due. But doggone it, when we get to the playoffs and we have more bets on you to score a touchdown than any other bets that were placed on any other player, and you're in the wide open field and your team is already up 12 and there is nothing wrong with scoring that touchdown, then doggone it, put away the nice guy act and go get me a touchdown and give me my cash.
Unhumble yourself, Saquon.
More bets placed on Barkley to score TD against the Packers than were placed on any other player in Sunday's 3 playoff games.
Anytime TD?
Yeah, Barkley to score a touchdown was the third most popular leg of all NFL parlays.
Oof.
And we were destined for the end zone. He broke free on the final drive.
Oh, no.
Up 22-10. He took a handoff left tackle. Burst through the defense. He's into the clear. Yeah! Like, if you've got that bet, you're resigned to losing it, right?
Yeah.
They're going to run it into the line. The clock's going to go out. But no, Mr. Football IQ had to run, how many yards did he end up going? 24 yards, I think it was.
He could have went like 70.
He could have taken it to the house. No one was going to catch him. But he did the football smart thing, took a knee. They ran out the clock, and it was a win. So, by the way, I think his rushing total or his combined receiving total is like 121, and that ended at 119. So he just screwed everyone all the way around. Okay, we get it, Saquon. You're a nice guy. Go feed yourself, man.
Better factor that in on the
Let
next
that
time you
man
bet on him.
eat.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, that one killed some people. Killed someone close to me, Dan.
Oh.
It was the last leg of a big payday, and Saquon took a knee, doggone it.
E, I got one for you.
Holla at me.
E, let's say you're the coach of the Monstars.
Okay.
And your squad's 10-5 on the year.
10-5?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that don't sound like the Monstars, but okay.
Yeah, but you're still winning.
All right.
You're stepping up in competition.
All right.
You're playing a team that's like under 500. Okay?
Okay.
And you're waxing them.
Okay.
You're up 46-14 with a minute to go in the second quarter.
All right.
Is that a dub?
Yes. What do you mean?
Is there any chance that you can lose a 46-14 lead
Not the
with a
Monstars.
minute to go in the second quarter and you're the Monstars?
No, not the Monstars.
These are little kids playing?
No.
Okay, if it's not little kids, I would depending on the level, I'd have to know who's involved. But yeah, it's despicable to blow a 32-point lead
with a minute.
Yeah, no, that's first half.
32-point lead with a minute to go in the half.
Okay, all right.
Is that? I think LSU once led Kentucky by about that much.
You come out in the second half, and in the third quarter of action, the squad who's losing throws a 28-0 at you.
Dang.
28-0 run.
28-0 is the final score of the third quarter. They go on to beat you 72-59. They were down 46-14, and they won by 13 points.
Who is this? Do you know?
This is
Is it high school?
No. This is the Pitt and SMU women's basketball game.
I could have a million% told you. I thought we already said it was a women's game. That's 1,000,000% a women's game storyline.
58-13.
Was there somebody maybe suspended for the first half?
I don't think so. Down 32, largest comeback in women's basketball history. Anyway, I just saw that this week, guys. But when I saw the box score and it said 28-0 in the third. Now, this is a team that is up. By the way, at the half, they're up 49-18. So they're still up 31. They had as big as a 32-point lead. They're up 41-18, and then they got outscored in the second half 54-10. SMU scored no points in the third quarter and 10 points in the fourth quarter.
That's just weird.
Yeah.
That's just weird. I don't know how that can. Again, that's Power 5 scholarship basketball.
Yeah.
I don't know how, unless there's like one team had 2 players suspended for the first half and then the other lost 3 players to death or injury at halftime, how you can flip the script that much.
Mm-hmm. The Heisman odds are out.
Heisman odds?
Yeah, 2025 Heisman odds. You don't want to be the leader at the beginning of the year.
They don't win usually?
Never. You know
who was last year?
I don't know.
Dylan Gabriel, probably?
I don't know. You know who the leader is?
Arch Manning.
Arch Manning. You know who's second?
DJ Lagway.
Carson Beck. You know who's third?
Oof. I'm going to stop guessing. Just tell me who's third.
DJ Lagway and John Mateer.
Yeah, Mateer's the guy who transferred to where? Oklahoma?
Yeah. Jeremiah Love is next.
Running back. He won't win.
Nuss is after that.
LSU's quarterback.
Jeremiah Smith.
The receiver from Ohio State.
Nico,
who kind of went neutral AA this week, neutral Ava. Neutral.
And Drew Aller and Lenore Sellers. Both
Drew Aller. I don't know what Heisman Trophy in what sport. Yeah, I watch that dude. He's got about as much Heisman in him as we do.
Yeah. So anyway, just interesting.
Wow, Al Lagway, really, really, really has a buzz. He's the biggest star at Florida since what? Tebow?
Yes.
I mean, people are taking notice of DJ Lagway in Florida, and they've been a 500 at best football team.
One other note, we'll head to the 9 o'clock nasty.
Oh, gosh.
I watched, I was watching the beginning of the Bucks-Commanders game.
Okay. I wish that game tonight started at 7.
Ladies and gentlemen, here to sing the national anthem from Cheap Trick, Robin Zander.
Cheap Trick, huh?
Like, I want you to want me. This guy.
Did he sing it good?
It was okay. I watched this guy in the 70s in concert.
Yeah. How old is he? Cheap Trick was a good little poppy, little punky almost band in the 70s.
Dream Police.
Yeah. They were kind of, it wasn't punk music.
He's only 71.
Wow. Youngster.
Yeah.
Young at heart.
You ready to get nasty?
I'm always.
I was thinking, it's funny you said that.
What we do.
That national anthem is not the easiest song to sing, and I saw a couple, because now, for whatever reason, we're showing the national anthem and we're giving a shout out to whatever part of the country's hurting. We've done that too. Last week it was New Orleans, and this week it was L.A. And so I'm listening to these national anthems, and they're not all pitch perfect. And I thought to myself, what an awful wheel spin that would be to have to do the national anthem at like a shrimp game. But then I started thinking, but then it may come across as like disrespectful of the anthem. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to, you don't want to pay, you don't want to pay off a bet by making a mockery of the national anthem. But that wouldn't be the idea. It would just be the fear of having to sing that song in front of people. That's a hard one to sing, isn't it?
Oh yes, for sure.
All right, we'll do this. These boys are dying to get nasty. Sorry.
Nasty time.
Yeah, it's the Monday Morning Quarterback, divorcemenonly.com.
This is 1010XL. I had a dream to bring Jacksonville Sports Radio truth. Awesome. 1010XL, Jacksonville Sports Radio. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Hey, Hicken here from Bow 9 Associates, where you'll find Jacksonville's most esteemed eye doctor at each of their locations. After being selected for one of the most competitive ophthalmology fellowships in the world, Dr. Frank Bowden frequently called upon for his expert opinion. Currently one of the few cornea and external disease specialists in the area, the founder of Bowden Eye. Visit Bow 9 Associates today and experience the difference. They're keeping the First Coast focus. That is Bow 9 Associates.
Seminole Hard Rock Tampa is excited to bring you live craps, roulette, and sports betting. All under one roof, hotter than the Florida sun. Feel the luck of the dice, watch the roulette wheel spin, and scream for your touchdown as the big screen comes alive. Dine like a rock star, sip cocktails that shimmer, then dive into the heart of Las Vegas right here in Tampa Bay. Live craps, roulette, sports betting is here. Get in on the action now, only at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Tampa, located off of I-4 near I-75. Gambling problem? Call 1-888-10-MINUTE.
When you're a little kid on the playground, they tell you don't hit back. Well, the courtroom isn't a playground. And if you've suffered an injury or death in your family, I'm here to tell you it's okay to hit back and fight to make them pay. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we understand all the pain and emotion that comes with being wrong. And we've dedicated our lives to making things right for people like you. So if you get hit back with Hastings Injury Law. Offices, Jacksonville.
The Drill on 1010XL. From the studios of Republic Services, we'll handle it from here.
Man, jack of all trades, masters of none? It just feels like at every turn nowadays, every company can do all work. Not us. Hi, Stevie Beechurst here, second-generation plumber right here in Jacksonville, Florida. We are your master plumbing company that only focuses on all your plumbing needs. So for your next plumbing job, don't call another Jack. Call Beechurst Plumbing, where plumbing is what we do, and plumbing is what we're great at. Beechurst Plumbing, here to help.
Get off the ladder and put on the helmet with Gutter Helmet of North Florida. We are family owned and manufactured locally. Cleaning your gutters is a dangerous and dirty job. That's why with Gutter Helmet, you'll never clean your gutters again. Water goes in your gutters while trash and debris go on the ground. It won't collect like filters do. Gutter Helmet protects. Call now for 10% off and a free gutter cleaning and tune-up with your purchase of Gutter Helmet. Call 904-762-7779.
The 1010XL Restaurant of the Day is Barley and Pie Brewing Company in Fleming Island, Clay County's first and only craft brewery and sourdough bakery with full table service at Barley and Pie in Fleming Island.
Have you tried golfing at the improved Cimarron Golf Club? If you haven't, tell you what, you're missing out on the best deal in Jacksonville. Now, many of you have received a postcard in the mail, and of course, if you bring that with you, $45 plus tax to play. That includes a cart, lunch, and a beer at the brand new Stone Barrel Tap House. Now, go to the website, that is CimarronGolfClub.com, and sign up for the Wild One Loyalty Program. That's the Wild One Loyalty Program, and get all of these specials emailed to you from Cimarron.
Start your Sunday off with a cup of Joe and some sports medicine intel. This is Joe C. inviting you to join me and Dr. George Bari for Breaking Bones every Sunday morning at 7:30. And if you miss an episode, just look for Breaking Bones wherever you listen to podcasts.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Mia here. Since 1982, Closets by Design has specialized in creating dream spaces for every budget. My designer, Frances, made the process so easy. She came to my house and designed a walk-in closet that's not only beautiful, but also incredibly functional for me and old Beau Valentine. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation at 800-293-3744. Hey, and if you mention Mia or Helmets and Heels, you'll qualify for free base molding. Call today or visit closetsbydesign.com.
Hi, Jags fans. Walker Little here for my friends at Kingfish Pest Control. Playing offensive line in the NFL, I must block and protect on every down. When it comes to keeping my home pest-free, I expect that same level of protection. So I contacted Kingfish after seeing thousands of positive online customer reviews about their service. I can confirm from personal experience, bugs don't stand a chance getting past Kingfish Pest Control. Do what I did. Reach out to Kingfish Pest Control to protect your home, a proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
Looking for a new or used firearm? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach will get you locked and loaded. New firearms coming in weekly and always looking for used guns. No lines and no waiting. Online at beachesjewelryandpawn.com.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Miller Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to website CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
Here's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, sponsored by Riddled Wellness. The win over Arkansas on Saturday was a tale of two halves, with the Gators getting hot for head coach Todd Golden in the second half.
You know, we didn't handle their pressure very well, but I thought we left some points out there behind the three-point line. But we thought if we just stayed the course, that we'd be all right.
Florida will next play tomorrow evening facing Missouri. The Jacksonville University Dolphins came out on top in the second leg of their Kentucky road trip, coming back against Eastern Kentucky to get the win. For head coach Jordan Mincy, the freshman made a difference.
Our freshmen, like those freshman guards, they come in, they make big plays, they sit down, they guard, and they do everything that we ask them to do.
The Jacksonville women's basketball team fell to the Florida Gulf Coast Eagles Saturday, despite three members of the JU team scoring in double figures. And that's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Sam Nelson.
At 9:04, it's 48 degrees. Your time and your temp is brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
But I really want to talk to the kids. So in the beginning of this video, I mentioned to PJ, do you want to be good or great? And he don't know, but that's my way of tricking him. So with me tricking him, I could be very specific and say, do you want to be good in basketball or great in basketball? But I'm going to make it broad. I'm going to make it broad so that when he say great, I can hold you accountable for everything in your life if I see you not being great at it.
That's Derrick Rose.
That's the same thing that he passed on to his kid, his siblings, and that's a joke, like a joke that we have in the house. If they see me lacking on something, they say, "You dad, you want to be good or great?" And then make me remember, I'm trying to be great.
Now, E, you and I, we're synced up in a lot of ways.
We synced up, my boy.
But all synced up dudes have one thing they disagree on, and this is our thing we don't agree on.
This is what we don't agree on.
No. And so you have an observation from Derrick Rose's retirement ceremony.
So recently, Derrick Rose, former Chicago legend, Chicago Bulls legend,
yes, sir,
had his number one jersey retired for the Chicago Bulls.
Okay.
So as I was watching the retirement, He made this great speech, which is very touching. I hope all kids will be able to receive a message like that.
Mm-hmm.
But as D Rose was passing on that word, I made an observation on the side of D Rose's face.
Okay.
D Rose got a face tat.
Oh no!
And I know for a fact D Rose hasn't been to prison or jail.
Okay.
This is big. This is like part of your essence.
Time out.
This is your core.
Time out. Time out.
Time out what?
I did some research.
Okay.
First thing is, D Rose recently made this decision.
So you're saying that he will, going forward, go to prison?
The theory is that if you do make the decision to get a face tat, you have been or will be going to.
No. Okay, that's fine.
Now, I'm concerned because there's a lot I like about D Rose.
D Rose is that man, very humble guy.
And just a terrific player.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he came from the mean streets of Chicago.
Chi-town.
I mean, the mean streets. He wore, you remember that dude, Benji Wilson? He was that young. He was going to be a superstar senior year of basketball in Chicago, and he got murdered by a gang guy.
Yeah.
He wore his number.
I remember that.
Yeah, I mean, just
Derrick Rose is a solid
guy.
The only blemish is he went soft there for a couple of years with an injury that shouldn't kept him out as long as it did on a team that was at the time trying to literally win titles. So that hurt his career. That hurt his reputation.
That injury,
because it was a meniscus and he missed 2 years or something, a year and a half. It didn't match the injury. So it just and so you're not gonna. That's Kevin Garnett, alpha dog, and that's LeBron James. You're not going to, if you take that path, you're damaging your legacy.
I'm concerned, though. I am
because
concerned.
according to Dan,
trust me, I know. I've been hearing this nonsense for 20 years.
Not nonsense.
Just Post Malone.
Just Posty was the only one. Is the only one who gets.
Are we sure Post has never been to jail?
That's what I'm saying.
We've done a lot of looking.
Not a DUI, nothing.
Right.
But I mean, there was and in fairness, we're going to listen.
He's some of these guys back there in Clay County now. He ran with some of those guys, and he says some of those guys, but he knows. He knows what happened to Pookie and Ray. Peanut. Come on, Peanut.
Slim.
Man.
Man. We shouldn't laugh. I don't want to get him angry at me. I'm just saying.
Side note, there's already people sending stuff into Deer Drill.
I knew it was going to be a mistake. It's going to be overwhelmed.
Oh, no.
These people, man. Can we just, all right. Okay, I don't know. This may be the welcome to, when they signed on to ESPN2, the anchors famously said, welcome to the end of our careers. They looked at this goofy setup. Opening the official portal to Deer Drill could be a catastrophic.
On the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures. When I was in high school, we were in the state semifinals, played a local-ish team we played every year, consistently beat. We were up 28-0 at the half. We lost 42-28.
I need further explanation.
That's crazy.
How's that even possible? You got beat 42-0. Say this is football, though, right? That's got to be football.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's more believable in football to go from 28-0 to 42-28. It's still outrageous, but it's more like basketball, 28-0 to 42-28.
I think he still hasn't gotten over his collapse.
Which collapse?
A
Clay
personal
County
collapse.
Oh man,
high school.
Yeah.
Denellen, man.
Yeah, Denellen.
That still hurts. It stings.
Yeah.
Man, if this were a bigger high profile event, if it were a bigger high profile sport, if it weren't the place in the schedule that this sport landed on this weekend, which took probably the fewest amount of eyeballs that will watch the sport all year. But did you see what Nick Taylor did at the Sony?
That was great.
So Nick Taylor, he is a Canadian golfer. Isn't he the one that won
Made that
the
long
Canadian
putt at the
Open?
Canadian Open, yeah.
So Nick Taylor is playing out there at the Sony in Hawaii. And he's down 2 shots going to the last hole. It's a par 5. He gets it onto the back of the green in 2, so he's got a far-fetched eagle putt that if he makes it, will pull him into a tie for first. Well, I'll be doggone if he doesn't roll in the 50-foot eagle putt on 18 to tie for the lead and then go off to a playoff and win the playoff. So he wins his PGA Tour.
I think he chipped it in.
Oh, that's what it was. You're right.
Yeah.
He chipped it in.
Yeah.
You're right. It was just off the green in the back, and he charged to the side over there, and he chipped it in. You're right. It wasn't
Chipped
even
it
a
in
putt.
to tie.
Chipped it in. He chipped in for eagle to tie,
Yeah.
and then went on to win the playoff.
That was terrific.
Yeah.
But it's the Sony, so it doesn't get as
Well,
much.
it's count,
But it's
though.
great. Yeah, heck yeah.
And you can none of them pay less than a couple million anymore.
You speaking of the Sony, you know who Adam Schupak is? No relation to Adam Schnickler.
Yeah, Schefter.
Senior golf writer. Golf
yeah,
Week Adam
okay, now,
Schupak.
yes, I do know.
Schupak.
I do know.
So he said, you remember the kid from Hawaii, Tad Fujikawa?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard the name.
Tad Fujikawa was a 16-year-old who made the cut at the Sony. Was going to be the next great one. He's now teaching pickleball at Sea Island. Says he hasn't touched a golf club in 3 years. How about that?
Pickleball on Sea Island.
Tad Fujikawa. Shout out. So anyway, I thought that was interesting along the lines of golf. But yeah, that was great by what Nick Taylor did. All right, so we are set for our games this weekend. It starts with the Chiefs-Texans.
We're almost set. Not quite.
Well,
Got
not
a game
quite.
tonight.
We got a winner.
AFC, we're set. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I guess what I'm going to say, the TV schedule is set. 4:30 Saturday,
Okay.
we got Texans-Chiefs.
Well, of course.
You know,
There's Houston at 3:30 on Saturday again.
Saturday night, we'll rock with the Lions.
And the Commanders. That'll be fun.
Sunday at 3, we'll go the winner of tonight at the Eagles.
Yeah.
Had to be the Sunday game because it's in fairness.
Yeah.
And then we'll go Ravens-Bills and probably the
6:30
matchup.
Sunday afternoon. Ooh, what a game.
Probably the game of the weekend, what should be.
I would hope that we would get good games in all of these. Odds are that a couple of them will be double-digit wins. It's usually how it works.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nobody will give the Texans a chance. They played some pretty good defense
I think the Texans have way more talent than their record. They got all pro level. They got 5 or 6 Pro Bowl, all pro between Nico Collins and Stingley and Hunter and Anderson.
Yeah.
Mixon had a great year. They're really good.
Yeah.
Tunzel. I mean, they have 6 or 7 first team Pro Bowl level players. So they're dangerous. I feel like I was young. I mean, didn't make a big thing, but I felt like I was the only one that thought Houston would win that game. I mean, or at least had a fight. I didn't think the Chargers were just going to go bebopping through. I did notice this from the two in a year where, man, it's always good to have that number 1 seed. Couldn't have gone any better for Kansas City and Detroit. Given your option, if you're Kansas City, you'd rather face Houston than the Chargers.
Okay.
I mean, they're a divisional opponent who plays you tough, who knows you inside and out.
Yeah.
I don't want the Chargers in Kansas City. Give me Houston, and they're up and down. I saw Baltimore beat them 31-2 a minute ago.
Yeah.
If you're Kansas City.
Yeah.
And then Detroit could have gone any better. You don't get a 15-win behemoth coming back for a third try, potentially. You get the Commanders, who suddenly, by the way, have won 4 or 5 in a row and all late and dramatic.
Yeah.
But I don't trust them. I think the old Cinderella ride, I think, ends for Washington this week in a big way.
Well, this is the formula, and this is the advantage of getting that 1 seed. It's not just that you get a bye, which is cool, but then you get the lowest seed.
Yeah, and if there's any kind of upset, which there usually is,
then you're in great shape. If you win that game, then you're 1 game away from the Super Bowl at home.
Yeah.
It's a terrific. The 1 seed is well worth it.
And it's interesting with the 1 seeds playing on Saturday. I think it's fair because it gives those other teams, look, say Kansas City loses to Houston, first game out of the gates. Suddenly, it's not like you would be playing with any more urgency, but suddenly if you're Baltimore or Buffalo and you win that game Sunday afternoon, you're hosting Houston in a championship game. That's a little bit pregame dynamic than playing to win the right to go play at Kansas City.
Right.
Man, I can feel myself making an argument for either Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson being his time. I think one of those 2 teams will beat Kansas City in the championship game.
I hope so.
That's what I think will happen. But Patrick Mahomes in the era of the quarterback is so far separated from all the rest of them that I wouldn't say it. And I don't mean by his stats. I don't care. He's the guy who takes every snap, and they win all the games. He's by a zillion miles the best leader and quarterback of them all. None of them come close. Not Lamar, not Allen, none of them.
Yeah. All right, let's take a break. We'll keep it rolling. This is The Drill on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
On and off the field, at home, on the road, practice or game day, Hayes Carline covers the Jaguars daily on the all-new 1010XL.com. 1010XL.com.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking flim-flam tactics. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices, and I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from AirPods to fishing rods. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam!
Open enrollment is here, so it's time to secure health coverage for your family. Whether you need Affordable Care Act plans, dental, or Medicare, contact Florida First Insurance Group on University Boulevard, an award-winning Florida Blue agency well known for providing superior service. Theo Mitchelson and his team at Florida First make the process easy and stress-free with medical and dental insurance you can count on. Plus, listen to this. Based on eligibility, many people pay absolutely nothing for coverage. Contact Theo Mitchelson and the Florida First Insurance Group today and let your health be their priority. And a reminder for Florida Blue members, visit Sanitas Medical Center with 3 locations in town offering primary care, walk-in services, and on-site pharmacy and mental health support. SANITAS Medical Center, Florida First Insurance Group, and Sanitas Medical Center, a winning team in Northeast Florida.
The Drill from the studios at Republic Services. We'll handle it from here.
Hey, it's one of life's most important decisions. If you're 18 years or older, you just got married, you just got divorced, you have children, of course you want to take care of your family. That's why I'm trying to tell you guys about Matt Hinson and the Hinson Law Firm. Guys, Matt's the attorney, I'm not, but we both want to know, have you done your last will? In 2025, you need to get it done. Why? Get your assets to the people that you choose. Planning also helps minimize income, gift, and estate taxes as well. Matt Hinson's your guy. He'll listen. He'll help you with some tough decisions. He'll provide you the info needed so you're at ease with your choice. It's a Hinson Law Firm. You got questions, reach out to Matty, 527-1700. That's 527-1700. Offices, Jacksonville, Florida. Gang, don't you let the state decide your fate.
Denny Thompson here. If you haven't heard, Dan and Jeff are going to be live from the brand new showroom at Tyson Sound and Security this Friday. You have to check out Tyson's showroom home theater with surround sound and comfy theater chairs. You can transform your living room into a cinematic experience. Did I mention Friday morning you can enter to win a $2,500 prize giveaway? Bring the theater experience home. Tyson Sound and Security, now at 3555 U.S. Highway 17 in Fleming Island.
When the heat's on high or the chill is too much, who you gonna call? Cool Cats Heating and Cooling is locally owned and operated with a perfect touch. You'll keep your home just right, day or night. AC to heating, don't take a beating. Call the coolest cats in town. With a 5-star Google rating, they're your neighbors, ready to help. So get your paw of approval from Cool Cats Heating and Cooling, the coolest cats in town. CoolCatsJax.com.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist is now offering ortho walk-in appointments. If you have an immediate need for orthopedic care, contact Southeast Orthopedic Specialist immediately. Avoid ERs and urgent care waiting rooms. For more information, go to se-ortho.com.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Hey, it's playoff time, and it's now or never. Don't miss out on the last few weeks of football action with Prize Picks, the best place to win cash while watching the playoffs. 10 million members, can't be wrong. Billions of dollars in award winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. The app is so easy to use. Just pick 2 or more players across any sport, pick more or less on the projection, and win. Prize Picks now offers a MasterCard for quick and easy deposits in your account this sports season. And look, here's what you got to do to get started. You download the Prize Picks app today. Use code JAX. You get $50 instantly when you play 5. That's code JAX on Prize Picks. $50 when you play 5. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
She's seen and heard all over 1010XL's video and social channels.
Whether the big cats are at the bank or on the road, I'm there too. Follow my updates all season long, on air and online.
All things Mia are driven by Arlington Toyota.
Duval, Coke, Florida. congratulates the Jacksonville Jaguars on a great 2024 season. As the local Coca-Cola bottler celebrating 10 years of business, Coke Florida is proud to be the Jags' official beverage partner. From the season kickoff to the final touchdown, Coke Florida's 5,000 associates and passionate fans have cheered on the Jags all season long. Coke Florida and the Jags tackle game day with great taste.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Yes, sir. Welcome back to the program. This is a drill. Case of the Moon Days. Ready to rock and roll here. We're getting down the home stretch of the football season, gang. The Super Bowl is coming up on the 9th of February, and we've got 8 teams left now. All winners will be, this weekend coming up, will be 1 win away from the Super Bowl, the ultimate prize. Jags continue to go through their coaching interviews. Ben Johnson is the favorite of the fans. There's no question about that. Every poll, everything we talk to around town, I hear Ben Johnson, Ben Johnson, Ben Johnson. We don't know. We understand we don't know how he'll be as a coach. He seems like he's the number one prospect. It seems to me like it'll be the Raiders, the Bears, or the Jags. I know going into this, he liked the Jaguars. I know going into this, he was hoping for a clean slate down here in terms of the front office. I know if he gets the gig, I'm guessing that there is some opportunity
transition to come
to transition in the front office or changes in the front office. That's what I'll tell you about Ben Johnson. That's where we are with that. I hope he gets the opportunity. I think he's the best choice. I love his offense. What did I call him? A Michelangelo?
Yes.
A Picasso?
Both.
I watched his work game by game, and it's terrific. Now, will he be the same as Dan Campbell on 4th downs? Who knows?
I hope not.
We don't know that.
I think part of it's probably him.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he has something to do with it.
Dan Quinn's like that, too. Dan Quinn is shooting
like
points
that.
early, 3-0 Tampa. They go down the field.
Twice he did it. 6 points he left out there.
Yeah.
They won anyway, so it doesn't matter.
And when you win, it doesn't matter. But I
have a question. I'm not sure you all get the answer.
Oh, you're going to get it.
This is not
By the way, all the home teams won until last night, too, right?
Yeah, not a pop quiz. And tonight there is no home team, so go figure.
Oh, yeah.
What was I going to say? I got sidetracked by the. I know what it is. I'm going to ask you guys a question.
You guys wouldn't figure it out.
It's not a pop quiz. It's just a one-answered question. I'm just curious if you know. After all the NFL games have been played this weekend, except for one tonight. But who has the number one winning percentage among active NFL head coaches?
Who has the number one winning percentage among
number one winning percentage
NFL head coaches?
NFL head coaches. Who is
regular season?
No, just overall. Every game they've coached, playoff, regular, except for preseason. If they're real games, then who has it?
Well, I know Tomlin has a pretty good one,
right?
Mm-hmm. Who else? Shanny doesn't because he had some losing seasons.
Yeah, no.
Nobody in the West. Dan Campbell had a bad year. Does it matter on years? I mean, does it?
Doesn't just if you're just your all-time record. It's not like currently where you are. Or
Mike McCarthy's probably got a pretty good one. Andy Reid
would have a good one.
Really good one.
Yeah. Doug Peterson has the second best winning percentage among Jaguar coaches of all time, and he's 22-29. Oof. Or third, rather. I'm sorry.
No Harbaugh? Would you say Harbaugh have a good one in Baltimore?
Yeah. Jim Harbaugh probably has a good one.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't think he had a bad year.
Right.
So.
Yeah, those are all good guys. Those all
wrong?
All wrong.
Those all make sense to me.
Yeah. What's the answer?
But after a
thorough search?
No, after a wild card win yesterday, Nick Sirianni has improved to 51-23 in his time with the Eagles.
Wow.
That now ranks as the number one winning percentage among active head coaches. and the third highest winning percentage in the Super Bowl era.
Wow.
51-23 is what? That's 68% maybe.
That's pretty good.
By the way, if you're in the NFC, you don't want to be the 3 seed. Maybe the Rams did. We thought the Rams were stupid for dodging. They could have been the 3 seed if they won, and they could have gotten instead of the Minnesota Vikings, they could have gotten the Washington Commanders. That would seem like an easier path.
Yeah.
But with Tampa losing yesterday as the 3 seed, the NFC 3 seed has won a playoff game only once in the past 8 years.
Wow.
Yesterday, the 3 seed Bucks lost. Last year, the 3 seed Rams lost. The year before, the 3 seed Vikings lost to the Giants. The year before that, the 3 seed Cowboys lost to the 49ers. The 3 seeded Seahawks lost to the Rams. Vikings beat the number 3 seed Saints. Yeah. Falcons beat the Rams all the way back in 2017-18. Yeah, the 3 seed, no bueno.
3 seed, no bueno.
Yeah, it's
NFC.
a little analytics I'm throwing your way.
Thank you.
There you go.
I'll make a mental note of that.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
And keep it under advisement as we go.
You know what? Just one more statistical anomaly.
All right.
The reason that the Pittsburgh Steelers fans are so furious with Mike Tomlin, a lot of them, outside of going to the playoffs, listen, it's the lethargy that they bring with them to the postseason.
Yeah.
These are the last 6 playoff games for the Steelers. Okay?
Yeah.
Before Pittsburgh scored a point.
Uh-huh.
The Ravens were up 21-0. Last year, before the Steelers scored a point, the Bills were up 21-0. 3 years ago, the Chiefs built a 35-7 lead. The Browns were up 28-0 before Pittsburgh scored. The Jags went up to Pittsburgh, were up 21-0 before the Steelers scored. And the year before that, Patriots 10-0. So not only have they lost their last 6 playoff games, but they've trailed in each of those games. 10-0, 21-0, 28-0, 35-7, 21-0, 21-0.
Oh, boy. That's not good.
I think the biggest unfairness here is he is being unfairly not looked at. There are coaches all over the league that are facing the firing squad years ahead of this pace.
That's fair.
I mean, Mike McCarthy's been driven out already. What's the difference between Mike Tomlin and Doc Rivers other than the sport? What's the difference in Mike Tomlin and Marvin Lewis?
Doc Rivers lost 140 to 106 yesterday, if you're wondering.
For the Bucks. They must play the Knicks, see?
Just threw that in there. No extra charge.
Yeah, it's fair. Thank you. Because we weren't paying anything.
Yeah. I was just looking at this. He's a polarizing figure, his old RG3, man. He's always up to something. RG3 setting the record straight about Mike Silver's story about his father being an issue in Washington. You ask my teammates, my father was never an issue in the locker room. To lie about a man who served this country to paint why it didn't work. He didn't like that. He's always rocking and rolling. Always rocking and rolling. So, yeah, so we'll get ready. It should be a great weekend of playoffs. And then this week, the Jags can continue some interviews. I think tomorrow's a big day because those guys have the day off. So, like Joe Brady and some of those guys will get their interviews.
You have to wait 2 days. So the ones that played yesterday, you can talk to on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Flores, you can't talk to on Wednesday until on Wednesday. If they win, I'm assuming. If they lose, I guess all bets are off. Cohen eliminated, so they're good to go.
Yeah.
I just feel like Balky's going to go with the least resistance. Shad, you need to take these in and then not listen to him and make a decision.
Yeah.
There needs to be somebody else in there football-wise. This is a disaster. We're terrible at picking quarterbacks, Hick. I have no optimism here, man.
Yeah.
Why would I? Shad's had this opportunity. This is the 3rd or 4th time he's had a straight Fs, man. Massive F minuses. Dave Caldwell, Gus Bradley, Fs, man. Marone, F. Urban, F. Balky, F. Like, massive. All right, I'll give you, but you've got to play a D here or there. He's not proven to be proficient at having that eye to spot a coach, a difference maker. And God knows Balky. I can't feel like Balky cares about anything but Balky. And whatever's going to keep Balky healthiest in the organization, what's Balky going to do? And going by all the, whispers and rumors, that typically has to do with him keeping his power in place. It's rich that this team is dive bombed and the coach got all the blame. That is just freaking rich, Hick. Let's call it for what it is. However it was explained to Shad Khan and however Shad Khan regurgitated it back, shame on you, Trent Baalke, for painting that picture. Shame on you. One goes, you should both go. And then you gave a half-hearted, I made mistakes too nonsense. No, buddy, you made just as big or bigger. Shame on all of you down there.
We'll take a break, keep it rolling, make the turn for home. Lots to do here. Maybe some New York City headlines next on The Drill.
The Drill on 1010XL. From the studios of Republic Services, we'll handle it from here.
These are interesting economic times. That's why it's so important to have someone you can count on. That's ITP Partners. Jacksonville folks taking care of our Jacksonville money. Experience? You best believe you want to give your hard-earned money to folks you trust. Jeff Hartman, Chris Bryan, Dan Abel, Reed Wingate, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reagan Wright have the expertise and knowledge to help clients in their financial lives, focusing on investment management, financial planning, and risk management. ITP Partners, financial partners for life. Securities offered through American Portfolios Financial Services Inc. Member FINRA SIPC.
Hey, Hicken here for Lockhart Construction. That's a longtime Jacksonville business. Shane Lockhart, his dad, his guys, all from here, taking care of people who live here. We need a new bathroom. We call Lockhart Construction. Man, they did such a great job. We used them again and again and again, and we'll continue to use them. In fact, talk to my family, talk to my friends. Many of them have used Lockhart Construction. Their family gives your family a better living experience. I like to say you unlock better living with Lockhart Construction. No job too big, no job too small. If you have a construction need, a remodel idea, here's how it works. Hi, Shane. This is so-and-so. Okay, this is what I'd like to do. Okay, well, let me get up a proposal. Here we go. Easy to do. Shane Lockhart, give him a call, 994-3865. It's 994-3865.
Hey gang, Prosser here, and I've been telling you for years about Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Lifetime Enclosures right now running an awesome special for January. Get a complete enclosure done, get free flooring. Now that can save you some money. If you just need flooring, Lifetime Flooring also running a buy one room, get the second room free. Once again, only for January. Now offering flooring coating as well. So give them a call. I know I did. Visit their showrooms just off Phillips Highway. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
You know, many plumbers won't quote prices over the phone and instead charge a service fee for an in-home estimate. Of course, because they know once they're in your home, you're probably not going to send them away. But Roland Reach Plumbing is different. Roland will give you a price quote over the phone. And there's never a trip charge or service fee for an estimate. So if you've got a leak and can't wait a week and don't like paying unnecessary fees, call on Roland Reach Plumbing at plumbingjacksonville.com.
Yo, what's happening, sports bettors? E to the T here with my bookie. And it's winter go home time. The NFL playoffs are the ticket to the biggest game of the year, and all roads leads to New Orleans. The NCAA playoffs will set the stage, but this is your chance to get in on every high-stakes moment along the way. Your road to New Orleans starts now with my bookie. My bookie is the ultimate destination for bettors who want more, whether you're backing the underdogs or riding with the favorites. Every drive, every touchdown, and every moment is an opportunity to win big time. Kick off your 2025 right with high-risk free Thursdays. Place a bet. If it doesn't hit, my bookie has your back. Dive into the Bets Boost tab to supercharge your picks and build that bankroll before the Super Bowl. And when the game is over, the action doesn't stop. My bookie has an online casino that keeps the excitement going 24/7. From blackjack to baccarat, roulette, and slots. Whether you're celebrating a big win or gearing up for the next round. If you haven't joined yet, now's the time. Use my promo code 1010XL on your very first deposit. Come on, somebody.
Hey, Hicken here, or just call me Dreamfinders Danny. For a limited time to ring in the new year, Dreamfinders Homes is offering an amazing 4.99% fixed interest rate. Now's your chance to lock down that rate and get in the game. You heard me right. It's 4.99 fixed interest rate on select move-in ready homes. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for sales event information and get in the game. Interest rate available on select move-in ready homes. Restrictions and limitations apply. Go to dreamfindershomes.com for more details.
Have you or someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI and all criminal offenses. I've been named the best DUI attorney in the state, and David has been named the best criminal defense lawyer in Jacksonville. In your battle with the justice system, there is only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On January 13th, 1962, Philadelphia center Wilt Chamberlain scored 73 points, marking the most points scored in an NBA regulation game by a player at the time.
Do you have clicking, popping, swelling, or pain in your knee or shoulder? This can be due to arthritic changes in your joints. Over time, you have wear and tear of your cartilage. I am Dr. George Bari, and here at Bari Orthopedics, we have numerous ways to treat your arthritis, such as regenerative medicine, including PRP and joint replacements with CT guidance for accuracy down to the millimeter. If you are experiencing any of these symptoms, call us for an appointment today, or log on to BariOrthopedics.com.
Find out more at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com.
Value or flavor? Price or taste? Why choose when you can get both with everyday deals at Sonny's? Right now, you can get the pork big deal for $10, the pork and rib combo for $12, and all you can eat ribs for just $19.99. Yep, you heard right. All your favorites are now available all day, every day. And that's why it's always Sonny's here. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
Collisions happen on every play in football. Collisions also happen every day on the road. If you need auto body repair, from a $30 job to a $30,000 job, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Need protection? Call Craig and Christine Kaprosky at Goosehead Insurance. The Kaproskys are a husband-wife team committed to finding you the right coverage at the right price in just a few short minutes. For home, auto, flood, or specialty insurance, Craig and Christine Kaprosky are the answer. Craig.Kaprosky at Goosehead.com.
This is Dr. Steve Crenshaw, Assistant Team Physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars, brought to you by Baptist Health and J.O.
Pro 10XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the Cool Down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
One of the fun things that will be brought up, I suspect, as we get ready for the national championship game, which is a week from tonight. We got NFL playoffs tonight, and then we got Ohio State Notre Dame, is the Ryan Day-Lou Holtz feud from a year ago. Let's not forget about that.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, Lou Holtz and Ryan Day got after each and in fact, Ryan Day called them out after they won in South Bend last year. Remember they had 10 guys on the field at the end? They scored that late touchdown to beat them. So that was a good game, by the way.
Yeah, it was. I remember that.
So anyway, we'll see what happens in that game. But that should be it. And then, of course, Marcus Freeman went to the Ohio State.
Yeah.
Yep.
It feels like Ohio State's going to win, but there's also a little bit of that Cinderella vibe coming off of Notre Dame. So we'll see. I think it'll be a lot like the Texas-Ohio State game. I think it'll be...
Yes.
I think Ohio State will get a little 10-point lead, but Notre Dame will hang around and have a chance late, and we'll see if they are able to make a play. But, good for the Rust Belt. Big year for the Rust Belt.
Well, listen, the last couple years, I mean...
it's 2 in a row.
Yeah, it's...
good. I'm all fine. I mean, I don't know why people think that...
I think that...
Here's why people love if you're a Florida, the reason you root for the SEC or the reason you say SEC... I don't get any joy out of Georgia Tech or any other godforsaken program winning, but it helps you, it behooves you when it comes time to compare you to others. That's why SEC teams want the SEC to be great. So you get, credit and respect for who you beat.
You know where I come from on that, but I will say this. Since the NIL, it's even the playing field for whatever
2
reason.
years and 2 different champions, 2 different conferences.
And not from the SEC.
Yeah, after the SEC won so many. And it's not just the SEC, it's the South, Dan.
So
it's bigger because it's also Clemson, FSU.
Yeah. So the argument from up there would be, though, now that
we can pay them to come.
Yeah, now everybody can pay. So
the built-in advantage down here before was beautiful weather and all these different things. And now, all right, you don't have that weather, but here's $2 million. How's that work?
That works just fine.
Yeah.
Before we hit New York City headline,
I want to cool down on one thing. I'm going to cool down on what is, I don't want to be Debbie Downer here.
Mm-hmm.
So far, no bueno on these playoffs. This is a jackwagon, man. The games have all been terrible. We finally got a good one last night, and it was played in the middle of the night with Baker Mayfield as one of the quarterbacks. It's not exactly Steelers-Cowboys from the 70s.
Right.
And now I look at next weekend, Hick, and maybe we'll get a game tonight. I suspect we will, but I look next weekend. I see blowouts again, Dan.
Oh.
Yeah, I see Baltimore.
Bills-Ravens?
Bills-Ravens will be a great game. It's going to go down to the wire.
I hope so.
I see a Chiefs double-digit win. I see a Eagles, maybe not a double-digit win, but a Lions double-digit win. I don't see.
Okay.
You might be right. It hadn't been compelling. I mean, look, we've had 5 games so far, and 4 of them you would have been better served not watching.
Fair enough. So we'll see. Yeah, we need.
Thank God for fantasy and those frustrations, or there would be no reason to watch some of those blowouts.
Sometimes you realize why gambling's so popular. Keeps the games interesting.
Well,
Otherwise,
sure.
some of these games are, Dullsville City. So, New York City headlines brought to you by our friend, Dr. Rick Townsend. He is a concierge doctor. That means he has limited amount of patients. You have a few spots left. If you would like to sign up, mypvconcierge.com. Go check it out. The price will surprise you. It's not nearly as expensive as you think. It's all your questions will be answered at mypvconcierge.com. As they say in hockey, hit it. Actual headlines from New York City periodicals. What in the blazes? Palisades fire's likely cause reportedly revealed as frustrated residents blame LAFD for slow response.
No, look, at the end of the day, imagine if a hurricane hit Florida and the state said, oh, sorry, we don't have any sandbags. I mean, are these people out there aware that fires happen? But at the end of the day, it's this. I mean, and I'm not getting on a crusade.
Mm-hmm.
They don't do controlled burns for, quote, environmental reasons.
Yeah.
So human life or a spotted owl? Somebody make a decision.
A pickup truck driver accused of cutting off old lady during Palisades fire smiles after being confronted.
I'm going to say this as a truck guy. We need to check ourselves, truck guys. You're the worst drivers. You're the tailgaters. You're the bulliers. We need to check ourselves, Truck Nation.
Nanny Steak. New York City restaurants flip out over new charbroil rule that would force them to cut emissions by 75%. Stop messing with my burgers.
I don't even know what any of that means.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Denmark frantically messages Trump about security concessions on Greenland after he threatens to take it over.
I mean, what is Trump doing? He's going to go get, we're acquiring, countries now? Is this risk all of a sudden?
What is he doing? What he won't?
Denmark is ours. Panama will take that. What's next?
Looting from the ashes. Cop snap burglar dressed as firefighter. 29 arrested, many for looting during LA wildfire.
Now, some of these criminals, they put as much effort and creativity into doing honest work. They they would go a lot further than the effort and ingenuity into doing the devil's bidding.
Narco Express. Federal's agents find sophisticated tunnel allowing cartels to sneak drugs and humans across the border.
Sure. Yeah, we got it all set up. Yeah, they're just running through, just like rats through these tunnels, huh?
Star NFL quarterback's kids spent night in hospital before playoff game.
Can I go back to a headline? Do we not have technology in today's day and age? You just do a sweep over the land and you can use some sort of infrared technology that'll tell you where these tunnels are. Is it that hard?
Male stripper reveals crazy cheating trend for brides. Every single one.
Yeah, there's a lot wrong with there. And I just
Ex-NFL MVP jumps on the moving helicopter from speeding boat in wild reality show stunts.
Apparently 6 of the 12 were able to pull that off. And if you're thinking that it's just kind of, this is manufactured for Cam, show appearance is a real deal. It's hard. It's hard to do some of the things they ask him to do.
Yes. Remembering you, Priscilla Presley wishes she could hold Lisa Marie again 2 years after her death.
I mean, can we just go to any parent that was ever alive and ask them, would you like to see your daughter again? You're going to get a different answer?
My P-cup boobs won't stop growing due to rare condition. One bra costs $140. That's P-cup if you want to check that out.
You can't, can't do something about that? We can't do some sort of reduction deal?
That's a bit much for your boy.
Scene stealer Will Ferrell reveals weird reason for his viral Buddy the Elf moment at NHL game.
He's lost his mind.
The Raiders' feelings on Deion Sanders are clear.
They don't want Sanders, even though Sanders apparently said he'd be interested.
Interesting.
And probably interesting as well.
Actual New York City headlines. We're out of time, so we won't do any more. We just do one run.
Who do you got in the game tonight?
And one through only. I'm rooting. I'm gonna go with the Vikings.
Yeah,
this is a big game for Sammy Darnold. Big game.
There's two.
If Sammy Darnold blows this game and plays
lose
poorly,
a lot of money,
lose a lot of bread,
and that job there.
This is a game. Who was the other guy? They said, he stands to make a lot of, and I didn't agree with it. These are games for Sam Darnold. If Sam Darnold plays like he played most of the season, he is going to get some coin. If Sam Darnold reverts to what he did in the last game, he's going to end with 2 thuds, and everybody's going to go, okay, we're not trading. Like, there's talk of trading J.J. McCarthy to the Giants, all kinds of stuff right now. But Sam Darnold's got to have some playoff success. That's the big – that's a big – lot of pressure on a guy, huh?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he'll – I don't know.
Here's what I think about that game tonight, and one of these thoughts of mine overpowers the other. I think, and both of these are true to me, I think I think the Rams are a really dangerous team. I love their coach. Matthew Stafford's a winner. That offense, if healthy and is Williams is underrated as a running back. All he does is score touchdowns. Nakua and Kupp give you formidable there. That D-line is young, full of young talent. I think the Rams could be really dangerous. Like they could win a game and then go, give somebody a pain.
I want to go back to one thing.
But I also think, and I think that the Vikings run the risk of that carrying over. But you know what? All year the Vikings have had that chip on their shoulder. All year when they're questioned, they've answered. Except for the one thrashing they took to the Lions, they've done it every single time. Yeah. And so I'm going to trust in O'Connell and Darnold and Jefferson and the year they've had to answer the bell again this time and to bounce back and to win. So I think the Vikings will win and then go on to Philly, where they might be Philly. We may have a Vikings-Lions NFC championship.
That would be fun. I want to go back to one thing that Tony and I'm not sure where you stand on it. But I'm convinced of this, by the way, in the Jags coaching search. And fans don't want to probably hear it. But if you're a coach and you want this job in Jacksonville, I am very confident that part of the discussion is all the extra stuff that's going to come along with this franchise over the next 3 or 4 years. And I believe that is going to factor into decision and is going to give you a little more stability than you normally would have. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
The fact that they're going to be uprooted, construction's going to be going on. We need you to steer us through this time. And if you steer us through this time, it's only going to get easier from here on out. That's the only thing I was trying to say. Like, if you're thinking about, okay, look, because head coaches, they got to win right away, right? How many one-and-dones do we get? We had one here a couple years ago. I don't think that's going to be the case with this guy. I think this guy's going to get here. He's going to be given a lot of leeway. And we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Get us out of here.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. Find the coolest cats in town at coolcatsjacks.com.
Good morning, Tony.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
A fun weekend of wild card football playoff games and a coaching search. You have a lot to do. What's on your plate today?
Yeah, we'll talk. We'll react to everything that happened this weekend in the NFL. We'll have Jamal St. Cyr on with us today in the 11 o'clock hours. So we'll talk to him about what's going on with this football team and what we can expect. Where are we at with this head coaching search at this point, and what do we make of all the noise we hear? Won't he be here, with Balky in the position that he's currently in, for the franchise. So all that noise is still out there, so we'll try to get to the bottom of that a little bit today. We'll also, the question of the day today, we're asking, assuming Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter are both gone, and the top player with the grades at each of these other positions we have in the poll today, at least are evenly graded.
Okay.
Which would you prefer for them to draft? Corner, defensive tackle, interior offensive line, or wide receiver?
Ooh.
If they all had the same grade.
Yeah. Well, that's a good one. I think you'll have a mixed bag on that one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you immediately kind of start putting names to those positions.
Yeah, in your mind you do.
Yeah, whether you like that guy or not like that guy, and we shall see.
They got a couple of Michigan guys right off the bat.
Yeah, right, at different positions.
That fall into the tackle and corner spot there.
Yeah.
So. And, it's one of these where we're going to ask these kind of questions 15 different ways.
I know.
And the answer is real, and it's a kind of a fallback, and it loses its steam here because of our ineffectiveness drafting. But at the end of the day, the one of those positions who's going to be the best at his position league-wide.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
And not even the best player
does great things. A great defensive lineman inside does great.
Right.
I mean, yeah. So,
that's what we need.
Well, have a great show.
Thank you.
It's Mike. It's Tony. They're getting ready for Jaguars today. Jamal St. Cyr will join them as well. Our work here is completed. on a Monday. That means we have 4 days left.
That weekend went
New and
fast.
approved drill 2025.
Hopefully this week goes fast as well.
We've got to come back with fire tomorrow.
Okay, it's Cal and Chuck
bring
Accessories
it.
Tuesday. Should bring the big honking horn tomorrow.
Yes.
Blow that thing all morning.
Blow that thing, E.
All right, it's been the Monday Morning Quarterback, divorcemenonly.com. Y'all have a great next 20 hours. We'll see you then.
Big moment. Play-by-play is full of plot twists.
Did that just happen?
And high-octane drama.
And this game is tied.
Experience the most play-by-play sports on 1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
If your ride is making strange noises, don't wait and make it worse. Come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road. My expert technicians can diagnose the problem